Yeah, we got it, yo.
Okay.
Crazy, yo. If it was
Mhm.
anybody else, I'd strike them down, yo. If it was anybody else, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was anybody else, yo, you be struck down, yo, but you just silly, yo. You do what you're supposed to do, yo.
Yeah.
Hey,
We
come on, yo. You got
live.
supposed to be doing what you're doing, yo.
Hey, that man's concussed, bro.
Oh dang, we got the same hat on with Sosa.
That's funny as hell.
Yeah, let me go fix it. Oh my
I got the
God.
what? What you got?
I got the same hat on as Sosa.
You
Can't
can have
be
the same
twinning.
hat.
No, I want to be unique, original.
So I got the triple D, double D, double D, triple.
Shut up.
Well, we sure as hell see ourselves different, boy. God
Oh
damn.
boy.
Yeah.
Jack.
Yeah.
Let me change.
Dang.
So give me some cute glasses.
Okay, man. How many people we got in the building? One, is it live? That should say private. Is it on private? Can y'all see?
Yeah, I think the damn two was for the night. I ain't number the damn up his tablet, man. So I can rock out for a while.
Uh,
I thought Minnesota play tonight. Trip
Minnesota.
tomorrow.
Fix my glasses.
Mm.
Let me fix my glasses. You know, it's cute. I do it like that. All right, here we go. Here I go. Why my head not night like that? I need to fix that. Jeez. It's on my head nod. Oh Lord. It's recording. Hey, recorder. So she's Australian and German. Where is she from?
No, I forgot. I forgot. We have the link for her bio. Throw her name in Google. You can get her bio.
ChatGPT. Hmm.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot. We have the link.
That's a PK company hat. Saying funny.
We live.
We are live. We definitely live. Sing a little song for us, Sosa. They waiting. You front and center too.
Hold on, let me see who's in the building.
Got Zane in the building. Gideon Block, Alex Torres. Uh, got Thurman up in here, Raymond. I said Zane. I make sure I forget Zane.
Yeah,
We got
everybody coming through. Hope y'all caught the video. Shit, there's still like another 15 minutes, 20 minutes that didn't get on there because we did the video. It really wasn't really planned. It was just really just a pop-up conversation kind of. So we started off just in a conversation 15, 20 minutes before we even started the show. And then we're like, okay, we'll just go live. So we ended up recording 15, 20 minutes before we actually even did an introduction. Hey, this is who we're interviewing. So all of it was kind of impromptu. So it's about 20 minutes missing where we actually put some of the glyphs on the screen for her to examine and
wow.
show clips of Smash. explaining what it is and giving his context, and then her explaining the context fall in line with if it makes sense
Yeah, we
based
put
on Egyptological context.
Yeah, we put them glyphs to the test, yo. I wouldn't even have said nothing since Smash it. So if it was anybody else but Smash, yo, I'd have been struck him out the game, yo, because he make a mockery of the scholarship, yo. And what he doing now, like you said, he concussed, yo. He concussed and smoking weed, so he dizzy, right?
Oh
Yeah.
my
So really,
God.
yeah, really, our next conversation, I was gonna have him, Hassan, them, right? Nah,
Yeah,
yo, you exit out the conversation, yo, for being silly, yo. You doing like the rest of them dudes do. You know, you ran into a brick wall into the corner. Instead of, bowing out gracefully, you know what I mean? Instead of saying, no, the expert said the things that you did what your abilities was, yo. You supposed to take that and be a better person. You know what I mean? You supposed to that's how you learn in this field right here, yo. You take the bitter with the sweet, yo. Academia, scientific literacy, yo. The parts you get wrong, you get better at it, yo. You don't try to force that shit like you doing. I know you forcing it because you cutting and pasting videos together. Matter of fact, the context of the cut and paste is wild. You don't even understand what they saying. Like, come on, yo.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you missed the video. He just started cutting and pasting videos together.
Oh,
Egypt, yeah, come on, man.
Egypt?
Yeah, no, with the experts we bringing, instead of him addressing it,
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like he's supposed to, and make it make sense. He cutting videos when they say is when sometimes like I think was it Kairos, he might have used the word black. He doing the Robert Rand shit, yo. I ain't know he would do the Robert Rand thing,
that's
yo.
what you know that. Yeah, you know what they can do now. They
Yeah.
gonna
That's
do now.
crazy, yo.
Yeah, they gonna do now what we already showed black people because they said Kim in the name. So, but you know what I mean. They know what we mean, huh?
Yeah, I didn't expect that out of him, yo. I really did, yo, because he don't act that way when he in front of that white boy, though. He ain't act like that, yo. You know what
oh,
I'm saying? Like he ain't do all that, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, come on with that, man. Yeah, you ain't do all the clownery, yo. You tripping. You tripping with that. Like, dude, I expect you to have a good critique, but nah, yo, you sit back, smoke a blunt, and you go live, and you got your I don't even know what the Broken Arrow crew around you.
darts.
Pseudos at the
They
best, yo.
shooting darts. The
Yeah,
dart
I don't know.
team.
Yeah, I don't know who they shooting at. Can't be shooting at me. Shit, I know enough to know. I know enough to know, yo, that I don't know enough. I understand that, yo. I already know, but you don't know that. That's the issue, bro. Yeah, yo, we done figured it out, yo. The gig is up. Come out the house, yo. Before you burn your own house down. Come know how they
Ah,
said, come out with your heads up, yo.
come
With your
on,
hands
Jay.
up around it. We done heard your expert beat you dizzily, yo. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we heard it, bro. See, he think we like the people on his side that don't give a
Mm-mm.
damn about scientific literacy, yo. He think we like that. Nah, bro. Yo, we read literature, yo. We talk to experts, dude. We do. And we know what the conversation sounds like. We know we know what translations you did, what corpses you got it out of. Yo, we ain't tripping off that, bro. We saying, like all other Egyptologists say, yo, that the context is improper for what you're trying to do. You can translate it any kind of way you want. But if you think the Egyptians is African Americans fighting against colonial powers, you know what I'm saying? Then that's for your fun. You having fun, yo. But when you get serious down in the text, yo, and want to make a dent in the real conversations, yo, you make a dent. You don't even gotta do what you're doing for it to be an African civilization, yo. It's an African civilization because they left literature there. And for those who learn how to read it, yo, you can understand it in this African context. That's why the obstinate was so strong, right? Because you couldn't deny the African elements within the culture, yo.
He don't care about the African. He care about blackness, but he don't care about. You don't know what color was they, bro. You know what I'm saying? He want to think that black Osiris is a representation of them, the skin. Like he's not interested in the whole. That's why I told you you could tell by the attitude he had how his mood when an expert left. You know what I'm saying? He was not happy, bro. He was not pleased with that conversation.
No, he wasn't.
He showed it. Yeah, he showed it in the after party. Yeah, he even went so far to say, like, basically implying like the dude is you know, basically he's running the company line. Like, yeah, he was afraid to read that glyph. You know what I'm saying? When dude was like, bro, this is new to me. He said, I know you've seen more than this than I have. So I'm not gonna speak too much on it, but he still commented on it though. You know what I'm saying? He still was like, you know what I mean? But
Right.
we have examples. I can give examples of that where they do that in Egypt and in the Muslim culture, and even something that even Assad brought up, Assad Hotep brought up before was smashed. Because within, you know what I'm saying, that's what Assad is, Black Egypt all day. And even Assad be like, bro, that ain't it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he told him that. And he's like, nah, that's not it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Saul, Bujah will tell him the same thing. All the experts say the same thing. But you know, him and Reggie is the only one saying that. We're doubling down on, tripling down on that. So
Yeah, but they taking advantage of the loophole. We call it a loophole, right?
yeah, the gray area.
Yeah.
Yeah, that gray area, and I just never expected him to play that game that way, yo. And it's some dudes over there, yo, that I'm shocked. You know what I'm saying? I'm shocked. I'm not even gonna put you on the spot and say your name, yo. I'm just gonna let you know I'm shocked, yo, because we know that's what the pseudos do, yo. They do the guard of the gaps, yo.
Correct.
Y'all playing the guard of the gaps, yo. It's crazy. And then y'all so blacked out by review that y'all actually stripping the Africanness of the Egyptians, yo. You stripping away their culture, yo. You giving them colonial coats. It's the most crazy shit ever. You putting the white wigs on their head with white wigs, colonialism with the Jordan African Americans, yo. That's what you're doing. Make a thumbnail like that, yo.
Wow. I'm
Yeah,
done.
think about that, yo. They see the culture through the eyes of an African American, through the eyes of colonialism. Yeah, that's what they see Egypt as right now, yo. Yeah. They did. The lady talked about how Egypt ain't went nowhere. And
Right.
she laughs when people talks about how that's not Egypt. Nowhere. You can call it Egypt because it's right there. Geographically, it's the same spot. Right. Don't make no difference what you call it. So you call it another name, what? Because they're always trying to allude to is saying the land of the black people, which is the most outlandish translation you come up with. You can translate it that way if you want, but does it have precedence for that? No, it does not, yo. No, it does not.
Doesn't have precedence. It's not logical.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it was
Probable. Yeah.
2024, yeah, probabilities. We speak in terms of probability, though, but they wouldn't understand that though. So nobody understands the science doesn't speak in absolutes. Probably, what's the probability of that? You would have to teleport some African Americans back.
Mm.
And I think she also spoke of it as a place name. So yeah, they don't even understand the study of a place name. But the fact that so y'all trying to say it's not a place name now, yo?
Well, y'all would try to teach them that. I mean, I will give them that. Try to teach them
Yeah, we
about the
got
place
to
name,
yeah,
topping them, killing it. Remember? Y'all remember, right?
yeah, topping them, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So,
So yeah, I was just arguing with Reggie about that right earlier today before you went live.
Really, see
Trying
Reggie
to
do that.
just same
my
narrative.
own chefrin.
Yeah, but he changed his narrative again now. It means sacred people.
What?
Okay.
Sacred people.
Yeah, that
You
might. Man,
know what I'm saying? So he
you
not
mean
change. He not change up.
sacred people?
The Reggie
That's
like chameleon.
That
Yeah,
might
funny.
be possible. Did the Egyptologists talk? Yeah, you asked them. You asked the Egyptologists, how do you get divine out of that? Y'all had a good discourse on that.
Mm.
I think it
Was
might
that
be
off
some room for that.
camera or something? Because I
Nah,
did I
nah, 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 nah. I'm waiting for Smash to run his. He already did it. He ran his mouth. He put
yeah.
together a cut and paste video, below standards, that would safely put him in the basket of pseudo, because that's what pseudos do. They play. He's supposed to say, "Yo, man, I'm Egyptologist. Said I did a great job, yo. I understand your logic in that, yo. Yeah, but there's no precedence for that." And he's supposed to take his ball and say, "All right, yo," and then keep teaching, yo, and get better, yo. As a matter of fact, yo, you had a chance to get better, but you turned it down, dog. So you the liar, my nigga. You had a chance to actually get into school. I thought you lied to us. I'm signed up. You did all that, yo. You didn't do it, yo. Yeah, you cowered out, bro. Yeah, you should have went to school and took that shit on the road, yo. It was an away game, nigga. Going to the university is a away game for you, bro. Oh, but you might got to get your GED or something first, though. You might not got that yet. Yeah, you probably got to go get that. Go get your GED, yo. They got it in Oakland, yo. Go get that, yo. Yeah. Then go back to school. Go to school, shorty. That's the only way I'm gonna respect you from this point going forward. Yo, you got to go to school, nigga. You done talk so much shit that you got to go to school now, yo. I ain't listening to nothing. I ain't listening to Robert Rand, 3 hour wild ass lecture. He better do that.
Robert Down syndrome. Robert Down syndrome.
Yeah. Robert Down. Yeah, he got the Robert Down syndrome.
Yo, Gideon got him funny. He said they on the ship. They clicker ship. They full of ship. They holler ship. They selling, bruh.
Drop that link. Hey, Sosa, drop that link, though.
They on the pseudo ship. He said on the pseudo ship.
Learn show. But I just think, man, I take the bullets, right? But I just think we're in the golden age, yo, where we're in the golden age of hip hop, golden age of this thing we do, yo, of bringing the scholars to the table, yo, around the conversations we have, and that's what make it different. That's what make it different, yo. Today waiting on the direct conversations that we have, yeah, and we can just see it, yo. Go back and listen to Smash Scamwell's, yo, untampered with version of that expert and how it went down, yeah. And watch them start bringing out the conspiracy. You know how they did with the vaccine. Well, they ain't gonna tell us. It's in the hidden world. He can't say it because it's affiliate. He can't say it. Really, yo? Stop it.
Right. That whole time. Then why'd you bring him on then?
Yeah, why you bring him on?
Yeah.
And he lied on the man. The man wasn't an expert in what you was trying to do. But guess what? Shorty right here, we just heard, you know what I'm saying? She's an expert in what you was trying to do. We got you, yo. You surrounded. Come out with your hands up. Yeah, come out with your hands up. Got you. Yep. If you get too slick, we're going to bring the bulldog right behind her. Keep playing. Oh, man. I'm tripping. Yeah. Yeah, he take the fun out of it with the cut and paste videos. Wait till I put that in my. So I owe you. I double owe you. I owe you for the rap song that got you more views than you had in years. Just thank me, bro.
No, you steady giving them content. I keep telling you, Bobby Banger.
Yeah, all day.
Boy, might as well trademark your ass for real.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing, Scanwell. Yo, you bumping now. You back on the meat of hip hop, yo. I'll take that for you, yo. I ain't mad at you, yo.
Yeah, I know there was something funny about that Peppy Ken shit, Uncle. I kept asking him, like, how you know that? Reddy keeps spitting me on that. He was like, yeah, one was light skinned and one was dark skinned. They were saying this matter of factly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's red. And so one was dark skinned. Like, you know what I mean? But I was like, oh no. I kept asking, how you know he's light skinned? You know what I'm saying? He's like, you read the language. You know what I'm saying? But I remember then I went back and watched that show. Who I was telling him, bro, like, and he asked him, he said, read what the commentary of the people that's writing the book, what do they say?
Yeah, he wasn't against that.
Yeah, he smashed like, I ain't finna read that. I ain't finna debunk my own thing. You go get it. You go read it. You know, so I already say that they're not agreeing with. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Yeah, then you know what I'm saying? Asar came on, had to say the same thing to him. They kicked him off. Mujah made a separate video. Yeah, Mujah made a separate video.
Someone's at the door.
Hold on. Asar made a video and reading the book of names. Explaining the same thing that the guy said about how that practice still is there today, how they use color designations to separate people with the same names. You know what I'm saying? Even the experts say it's like at some point, bro, you got to be like, you know what, maybe at least say, you know what, maybe I'll fall back on that right now till I get
Yeah, you can fall
adequate
back off that.
evidence. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, you can fall back off that. Yo, that ain't got the hill. Just gonna die on that hill. Yo, you gonna pseudorize yourself. Yo, like god damn, yo.
No, that's the
I ain't
battery.
think I would live to see the day to call that nigga a pseudo though, yo. I ain't think you gonna do that, yo.
No, that's what the conscious community give you a false sense of power and prestige, and they put the battery in your back, and you just go and you can't stop. That's what I be seeing for a lot of people.
Man, yo, based off of the shine and prestige Scan Wellington had, yo, man, he might be right there. The thing we do, yo, he might be right there with what's the dude name, yo? The super pseudo to get 1,000,000 views.
Billy
What's his name, yo?
Carson, you're funny, Billy Carson, man.
Yeah, you might be the Billy Carson, yo. What we doing, yo? You the Billy Carson, yo. It fell off the Armor Raw squad, yo. Fell out. Yeah, yo. First rule: don't listen to those 2 presentations on your joint, yo. You got a team of pseudos, yo. Definitely got a dedicated team of pseudos, yo. That you cannot deny.
Flaming.
Yeah, you got the geneticists.
Y'all flaming
James,
pseudos.
Neanderthal James.
Like them
Geneticists. You got. Is it?
all our
What you call them,
all our
Sosa?
rejects. God, Robert Down syndrome.
Robert Down syndrome.
That's the funniest. Robert Clown syndrome. I don't know.
You got Sheshmu. I'm gonna call him by his real name. Sheshmu came up on the panel and we was reading the thing right there. He was at like he didn't see the word demarcation was playing. Like he playing. Like he just can't. Yeah, I mean, and then you got Sadiq. Come on, yo. Y'all shooting broken arrows. You crazy.
Yeah, you know, I like to maybe set up. So we got to get somebody since we can't get smashed on it because he just like like I already said after the last conversation. I felt like if Corn in a room like that, he may go off a little bit because he was close with the dude. You know what I'm saying?
He was close to get go off. Yeah.
That's arrogant and that's ego.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what he was like.
That you can't do that way.
Yeah, because when dude told him like, you know, sometimes it don't have a land term, sometimes it don't. And
yeah, I remember that.
He was like, yeah, you know, but when they say Shema, we know they're saying, we know they're talking about, you know what I'm saying? He was kind of getting there, you know what I'm saying? That's why he kind of cut her off at the end. I think in that type of conversation, now with us in the room too, you know what I'm saying? Like I think he might pop.
Might pop off.
Yeah.
Maybe Sadiq.
Sadiq. I was thinking because I think he actually genuinely want to know. Like he think he really got something. You know what I mean? So, and he know enough about it and enough of the language to mount what Smash is saying. You know what I'm saying? And I you know, we know he's pretty cool under pressure. You know, when he get beat up, he never goes off or get the cussing post out, nothing like that. So.
Right. Respect.
Yeah, give Wu Jia some of them. Let's just have that conversation, yo.
Yeah. Bring Wu Jia, man. That'd be fun, man. Shout out Wu Jia, man.
Shout out Wu Jia, my saber. The best meta.
Now you went too far. Called nigga the savior. Y'all lost y'all down. That's what happened.
That just means teacher. Good Lord.
Man, that's what happened.
It just means teacher, bro.
Baba.
He was my teacher. I ain't say Baba. I said Seba. That is teacher.
Doing too much. All right, enough of that shit.
I ain't doing too much. He was my teacher.
He was a teacher.
Juju, knock it off, Juju.
No, I ain't knocking it off.
I have to jump on. You gotta knock it off, Juju.
No.
You gotta knock that off, Juju.
Nope.
Nah, she did teach. He did teach her.
Come on, twice.
Knock it off. Knock it off,
Nope.
Juju. Knock it off.
Knock it on.
Knock it off.
Not.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, yo, you ain't paying attention. I'm just trying to tell you.
Well, let's have a show first before we start that with Wujahu. Let's actually get the
I know, right?
We're doing that before it even happens.
I was just saying he's a good meta-nature teacher.
I like to have a good that'd be a good little round table.
Thank you, Zane.
I like that. That'd be dope.
I know, yo, but all the titles, yo, it's not good, yo. It's not, yo. It's just not. I'm just telling you, it's just not good though, yo. Telling you what I know, yo, it's just not good, dog. That's the issue right now. It's
Baba
the issue right now. Nah, that's bullshit, yo. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's too much. It damn near devalues the shit, yo. Because you act, I mean, because the shit really meant something, yo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you really, it really means something, yo. You can't devalue that shit, man. I think all parties mentioned, yo, could actually reach those levels, yo. But at least force everybody to go through the process, yo. Come on, yo. That's what I'm saying, yo. Force everybody to go through the process if you command that, yo. If you think you command that, yo, that's you know what I'm saying, yo. Like I know I understand a lot of shit, yo. You feel me, yo? And I know I could go do that, right? I know I could. All jokes aside, yo. But until I do it, yo, I need to just stand pat on that, yo. Just to keep the level of accuracy down. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure I'm where I'm supposed to be at. Because we see it too much, yo. We see it too much amongst us, yo, and it's crazy. We wouldn't even be in these situations if everybody ain't start acting like they was overthrown the field, yo. I wouldn't even be mad, yo, if niggas actually went to school, right? Got that paper, right? Came back like they supposed to. You know what I mean? Got into the circles, not act like you're in the circles because you're around people. Don't do all that. Don't play us. Come on, man. I'm saying, yo, York and them, yo, they set the standard for ridiculousness, yo. And so we know all the tricks of the trade, yo. And so the only thing that makes sense these days, right, is if you just go get the paper in the field, yo. That way we understand you to be actively in the field, yo. That's all we saying. Just if you promote that, then be that, yo. If you say, yo, if you come back and say, yeah, yo, my son got drafted in the NFL, yo, right? And then we find out, yo, he ain't even get the call up to even go, yo, like that ain't even fair, yo. Why you say it? Okay, he do get paid to play football. He played football. They got leagues to go around and they play, but it ain't the NFL. Like, you don't gotta say it if that ain't what it is, yo. You don't gotta be an expert if you're not that. You can still be good at what you do, nice with it, but you don't gotta be something you're not, yo. And that's when we all fall down, yo. That's when I start beefing, yo. You know what I mean? That's where I start beefing. I ain't got no choice at that point. Now I'm feeling like I'm in an uncomfortable situation. Because based off these conversations I had heard, man, I hear all the shit that Smash be fucking up. You can hear it. And the extra shit that the experts bring that we never heard in the country. It's things that we've heard in these interviews that we had no idea actually existed. Like I don't know if they heard this part yet, Sosa, when she talks about the word Kemet and Smash tries to act like it's like one word and that's how they would say it. She was like, there's no way of knowing how we say it, how to say that. And it's not the way to say, remember that, Sosa?
Yeah. I'm looking at the chat. We need a damn
when it
we need to do a bulletin
all
board like how Smash did it, right? Because people still don't even understand our argument, bro. We need a bulletin board with our premise on it that we play or we show like damn the average show. So they can understand what our argument is when we see the Egyptians did not call themselves. Because people, I see like Tucker in his chat is still confused about some of the stuff we see the Egyptians didn't call themselves black people because they hide behind that. So we gotta, you know what I'm saying? Here's our premise.
Well, they hide behind what? They hide behind what?
Yeah,
they hide behind.
They're hiding behind. Hold on, let me explain it. The fact that, like, we're not saying that the Egyptians may not have dark skin and didn't notice that the other one had dark skin and could refer to somebody as darker than the next, right?
Yeah.
That's human. That's naturally human. We're saying that as a group of people, they didn't agree with a solid identity of blackness, right? Like there's no movement behind being black people. You know what I'm saying? Different from if somebody said, yeah, that person is, even if they use Kim, they said that one was darker than the next, it still wouldn't refute the point that they didn't identify as a collective black people like we do. So I think we need to put our premise
And yeah, so you keep seeing that I guess that's where I call straw man, because you're actually moving the argument. An individual using Kim in his name, right, can either mean black or dark, but in reference to what? But it's not a group of people. You cannot take that and now say that Kemet means black people. Like that's
right.
these arguments
And,
are ludicrous.
and a group of people don't mean 7, 8 people, or even 100 people. You know
No,
what I'm saying? We're talking about a national identity under
exactly.
blackness. We are the black people, like we like how our stuff. We the black. We black.
Yeah, we black.
See?
We are black.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we
So
understand the historical context of it and the chronology of the use of this word. Again, no human is actually black or white. And you can see that it was never used, color was never used to identify no one uh, ever. They were all related to the area where they come from, a direction or some specific feature of an area. It was never, no indigenous people looked at their skin and said, we are black. In reference to what?
right. And if they did, and if what they're saying is true, then we know that the black people were only where the soil was, the
Yeah,
arable land was. So I'm
yeah.
saying the black people wasn't all over Kemet. All the black
No.
people were in particular areas, basically.
Yeah.
If we take their argument on face value, if that's correct.
And the fact that you can find individuals that need to distinguish or use Chem to distinguish themselves, isn't that giving more credence to the fact that the rest of the population then wasn't particularly that phenotype?
Right. It's no different than the black pharaoh arguments. If they got to
Yeah,
point out
like,
the fact that they're black, then that means the rest of them wasn't. That means that these are significant. They're an anomaly based in the culture that they have to, that they stood out so much that people had to bring it out. Mention, oh
yeah,
man, they black. Man, they dark
yeah,
skin.
yeah.
Oh, look at
Oh, Black
us.
Pharaoh.
Look at
Damn,
them.
damn, Black
Wow.
Pharaohs, man. Shit.
Right. Right.
They Chem.
The Nubian black. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, so Sosa, can you show that clip? I wanted to talk about the clip um with the black bulls with the expert that Smash played. And right there in front of y'all face, Smash actually lies to y'all. And everybody I send a video to, I do not tell them what it is they supposed to hear. And so I'll do y'all the same way. I'm gonna send you the clip.
Okay, good.
Sosa.
I
And I
sure
want you to
heard
play
it.
it. I want you to play it.
I sure heard it.
What up, Joe?
Who is that? What you doing? Juju crazy.
When it all falls down.
Something is wrong with you.
Joel. You know, bring Joel in. What's going on, Joel?
Hey, speak to the fam.
Hey, you got that old man voice too.
Jesus Christ, boy.
Hold on.
You got that old man voice too, Joel. It fits your avatar. I swear to God.
I watched that interview, and a song came to mind. Y'all might not know this group because y'all kind of young.
Mm-mm.
There was this. That's y'all all compared to me. There was this group out called Queen.
We know Queen.
Bites the dust.
Another one, and another one. Another one bites the dust.
Yeah, Freddie
And
Mercury.
another one goes.
Boom,
Another
boom.
one
Yeah,
goes.
another one
Another
bites
one bites the dust.
and
And another
one,
one dies.
and
And another one dies. Another
another
one
one
bites the
bites
dust.
the dust.
Ow, you.
Okay,
Gotta
y'all
get
do
to
know it.
you. Another one bites the dust. Damn.
Y'all
Dum,
do know it.
dum,
Okay.
dun, dun,
That's
dun, dun, dun.
That's Freddie Mercury, bro.
That's the
Yeah,
song for the Magi.
Queen was it. Queen was it.
Oh yes, of
I
course.
know. We need to play that.
Oh,
We need to
man.
start off with the other one when we come in. That we will rock you, daughters.
Well, we
Plump.
will
rock
rock
Plump.
you.
Yeah, that was like a basketball, football anthem. When you come into high school, they play that coming out the locker room right there.
And of course, he closed
Right.
out the show with "We are the
The
champions, my
champion, my
friend."
friend.
But wait a minute, but we all know when it all falls
All
down.
down.
When it all falls down.
You resort to making silly clips instead of engaging in real scholarship.
Yeah, send a clip. Yeah, I told them that they already.
I'm gonna get it right now.
There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere left to go.
Nowhere to
no-
run
Yeah, so
to,
now
baby.
so now he didn't,
Where
he
to
go
hide.
he go to straight now he a slanderer.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
Now
Making
he's
silly clips,
slandering now. Yeah,
lying,
he's slandering
cutting it
now. He's
off at the
slander nigga
appropriate
now.
time. Yeah.
There's
Got
nowhere
all
left to
of
go.
them.
Hey,
Yeah.
Sosa.
Yeah.
What's that
You better
intro from?
not play that clip that I'm thinking, man. I'm telling you, don't do it.
Play that mother, play that funky clip.
You double dare me?
Be quiet,
You double dare me?
boy.
You double dare me, Joe?
I
Triple
double
down,
dare you.
double dare.
Play that.
No, I triple dare you to play that clip.
Play it.
I triple dare you. You better not play it. Oh my goodness.
Oh man. Oh Lord.
You saw what I said, right?
Yeah.
Oh man. No, I'm a novice and I can hear it.
Huh.
Cut and paste and editing.
I was just wondering why did he do that? Why would he do that?
They do. They no. He doesn't. That doctor that y'all just interviewed, she the fifth person I have heard say in these interviews. They keep saying this, that you got to take time and study this and get the proper context. She the fifth one. Everybody just keep messing it up.
They using them big words. Those are big words. They don't understand them big words.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, you know what? Yeah, he can call me a basehead, a crackhead. Keep going, Smash. Yeah, yo, everybody shooting through your gun, you through your whole everything, bro. I ain't gonna do you like that, yo. I'm just gonna stay on your head for 3 years now, yo. Now I gotta do you for 3 years, nigga. Right. Now I gotta get you all the way, nigga. That's all I'm gonna do. Right? I'm gonna keep intellectual gunfighting you, bro. Every time you do that, the pressure gonna stay on long. I was gonna let up off you, yo. Now I got master gas on you. I'm not gonna stop. So we'll just do this until somebody tap out. That's what we gonna do. That's what I'm doing.
Squash that cockroach.
Right.
Squash that cockroach. Every time you
Right.
open your mouth, now you reach to the point that you can't even do scholarship. You're down to editing, making silly clips. You sound so foolish, but like really, dude. Like really, dude. Go write
Yeah, I ain't
another
even
rap.
mad at you, bro. I ain't even mad, yo, because like Sosa say, yo, you concussion. You got a concussion. Ran into that brick wall, yo.
Yeah. He sounds like
Wall called
the opening bar from Kendrick Lamar. You ain't a rapper.
You starting to get on my nerves with that.
Oh Lord, dude, you cut everybody out.
Kick Juju out the class, man.
You're falling apart. You're falling apart.
Hey, I sent it. Sosa sent the clip. Let it play through. You probably just need to, when you play it, let it play plastic clip. And we're gonna see what the experts say, yo.
Submit it long.
Huh?
Submit it long.
Yeah, let it play through.
And then a rewind. And then a rewind. So I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, but I want you.
Give me the keys.
I want you. You can rewind it, but you can. I want you to play it through the clip. You got to hit the video, the watch video, so to play through. That's the key. Let it play all the way. Let that piece play through. You got the keys, don't you?
To the Beamer. Who got the keys to my Beamer? Who am I?
The girls them sugar. How can I?
Hold on.
I ain't mad at
Hey, dude, you is not gonna sing through this whole thing. You killing.
Come on, dude. We gotta get this thing. We gotta get it going.
Hey, Juju, I got a question for you, Juju. Hey, Juju, did you eat some animals? Juju had some animals, man.
Let's go ahead with it.
No, this is just natural. This natural, all carefree.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
All right, boom. Let's get it. Let me share so we can get it rocking. Let me see which one.
I want the audience to go ahead and listen through and tell me what they hear, y'all. See if y'all can understand.
Lord, man.
Oh, that's pretty.
Oh, that's my
Like a voodoo priestess. I like.
it is a voodoo priestess.
Ooh.
Hey.
All right, you ready?
Hey, Sosa, that's what I brought up earlier to Reggie, right there.
That's bad juju.
What? What's bad juju? Bad juju
That pretty
fun.
picture. That pretty picture.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking
Y'all
about.
ready? Y'all ready?
Yep,
We
go ahead.
ready?
Oh, you know what? I gotta redo it. I gotta do what Cher saying. We do it again.
Uh-oh, technical difficulties. Oh boy. Shout out to Kyle. You ready? You finna play now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Above it is the white cattle, and the one above it
never
is sob. That means kind of multi-color
Yeah,
pattern.
speckled,
Yeah.
Continue.
No, I mean it's just a really interesting example because and again what I would say is going on here, because this is in the Temple of Ramses III, and so basically what he's trying to do, what it's in his interest of doing, is to show control, because he's the one that's holding the leashes of all of these cattle, that he's kind of, in control of all the different ethnicities or breeds of cattle.
Oh, killed him. Ethnicities of cattle. Ramses is in control of all of the ethnicities of cattle. How does that make sense?
It doesn't.
If you don't see cattle as people, it won't make sense. But Brother Reggie broke that down for us. But he gonna say it more directly.
Pattern, yeah.
Continue.
No, I mean it's just a really interesting example because and again what I would say is going on here, because this is in the Temple of Ramses III, and so basically what he's trying to do, what it's in his interest of doing, is to show control, because he's the one that's holding the leashes of all of these cattle, that he's kind of, in control of all the different ethnicities or breeds of cattle, just as he is in control of all the different peoples that might live in the world.
So, if this represents all the ethnicities and breeds of cattle, just like it represents the people in the world, just like we told y'all, then this is the black cattle. And guess what they call the black cattle? I know the incompetent coons ain't gonna be able to get this, but guess what they call the black cattle? Kemet. The divine black cattle. Look, now, since I know they ain't gonna be able to get it, and they're gonna have to put this in chat GPT to understand what he's saying, I'm gonna let it play again.
Here, because this is in the Temple of Ramses III, and so basically what he's trying to do, what it's in his interest of doing, is to show control, because he's the one that's holding the leashes of all of these cattle, that he's kind of, in control of all the different ethnicities or breeds of cattle, just as he is in control of all the different peoples that might live in the world.
Wonderful answer. That's dang. I was saying that to people. They don't understand me, so I need to get some credentials. Now, here.
Want to keep going?
Now you can stop. Y'all can stop. So, it's clear what that man is saying. Yo, how do you even have an intelligent conversation with a human being?
Let him answer. Let him answer. Oh, what did the guy say? And what this man say?
Let who answer?
Same thing?
Let who answer?
That was definitely not the same thing. He did not equate the cattle to people. He used the cattle as a symbolic representation of his dominance over everything.
Yeah, but I wouldn't push back too hard against that because it's different groups. In other words, I wouldn't push back too hard against that though.
Okay. What did they call the black cattle? Damn.
No, that's when I was
You
starting.
know what he said? Oh, he trying to say the black cattle represent black people. That's what he said.
That's
Wait a minute. Hey, Sosa, you said you wouldn't try to push back on what? Or was he going to try to push
Pharaoh
back on?
saying he's in control of his nation. In other words, so whether it be the army.
Yeah. Right. But he's not equating humans with cattle with that. He's not saying that the cattle are actually humans, like he's trying to play, and then slide it into the black cattle. Because first of all, the color's faded, and it's not just black cattle right there. We know that. Now we know that. Right? We know there's different color cattle and different color breeds, right? Which is different from humans. There's different breeds. If you get technical, humans aren't white. Cattle, you really got cattle with white spots. Humans don't have white spots. It's not humans, right? Humans aren't black.
They got freckles. Maybe you're trying to say they got freckles.
Exactly. No human is actually black. You're shades of brown, even to the darkest human. It's a shade of brown.
Right.
That's always been problematic.
Got black cattle. But he's not saying. But he's not saying that. Why would Smash lie on that man like that is the point. There's complete lack of understanding. And I guarantee you got somebody in the chat saying, yeah, that's what that man said. The man never said that, yo. The man never said that. He was simply saying that Pharaoh was in control of all the different ethnicities of humans on the earth, right? And he talked about the cattle, how the leashes are on the cattle, right? He just made that example. He wasn't saying that the cattle was human, yo. That's what Reginald was saying. That's not what that guy said right there, yo. And my point is, how can you have a conversation with people and they don't understand it?
You know,
how?
even the cattle was called Kim, the blackness still would be the people. I would still see it the people of Kemet. The people of that which is black still wouldn't have anything to do with skin color.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't matter what color the calf was.
Of course.
So I'm saying, so that's why I was like that, you know what I mean? That's why I fell off with him at, like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I fell off on him trying to say that man said that the cattle was human. You get it?
Yeah.
Man didn't say that.
That was confusion. The man didn't equate the cattle to humans. He did not do that.
Didn't. He equated the ownership. He equated the ownership of the cattle as the Pharaoh owned the world, because the Pharaoh was considered to be the known ruler of the world, y'all. Exactly. Do y'all get that? Jesus Christ, yo. That's Egypt. Man, we learned that years ago. That's Egypt 101. That the history starts with the Pharaoh. Each history starts with the new Pharaoh. It starts over again, yo. It's not like we do.
Oh, this is now. I wish you had it from the time. The one we play with just the expert, because just the cut up video. It's got the cut on
it. Yeah, that's the cut. But I seen the non-cut, but I just wanted to hear him put the cut.
I wanted to play the next part, because this is the part we start where he was trying to get dude to leave. This is a part of the video right there. Let me play it, see how far he let him go.
All right.
Because this is I think the part where I start having an issue with how Smash was treating the comment on the work of a trained person in the field. Let me see. Because he was acting like somehow like knew he was going to be wrong, and he didn't want to read it because he knew if he read it, he'd have messed up.
I didn't let him off the hook.
Watch.
Just like they go, interesting, that's over. Even though they disagree. Right here, I know you can read this, and I tell them this politely and humbly. Because right here, in the beginning of our discourse, he said he never seen instances of this. Or he cited another way that you would say generically, black man. But he wasn't talking about a personal pronoun where a person is calling himself black. So here we show instances of Happy the Red, Happy Jasher here. Definitely know he could read that. And Happy Kim. Let's see what happens here. Now, here we're looking at the rock tombs of Mier. This is in Herman Rank's work. Yeah, we're dealing with Alliard Blackman. And in the rock tombs. Oh, yeah, I said Herman Rank's work. It's in Herman Rank's work, these names, but we're dealing with Albert Blackman. I'm glad I said that right. So this is what I use when people say Egyptians didn't call themselves black. I'm like, yo, we still have to know what they meant by that. But their term, Kim. Now, just look at Jonathan Winterman's eyes the whole time. He's brilliant. He's reading this. He's reading it all. I can show you over and over they call themselves black. Now, I'm not arguing. What Herman Ranker argues is that I can show you over and over they called themselves black. It was a physical attribute. Yeah, okay. He just gave it up. And we'll look at some of that. But here, Blackman, in his work, he says this. If we see Happy Jasher, they're brothers, and we can read it all. But if we look at Happy Jasher, this is one of the brothers. And then this is in his tomb, Happy Kim. Now, they say even in Arabic, in Arabic cultures today, they would use these colors, black and red, to distinguish between two siblings who did not necessarily have to appear black and red, but the one who was called the darker color would be the darker of the two siblings. And so I don't say, I mean, and now the translator here, they call him Happy the Black. But to me, I think this is just like Happy the one who was darker than his brother, Happy the Red. But there's a whole family of Happy Kims, Peppy Kim, and now I've had plenty. I talked to grammarians about this, and some title.
They switched up a little bit.
Did not place it in a title, and I don't know of any title associated with him, and we see it in the adjectival position, and it always. Now, see, this is me showing him. Now, and it's this is me showing him what he's.
We'll keep going that one, but this is what I'll be talking about. Like they think this is a dagger to what we're saying.
Mhm.
Because you have a person named Happy Kim, the Egyptians called themselves black. No, that means that some Egyptians, right, use Kim to distinguish. If what you're saying is actually accurate in what skin, that means that some Egyptians noticed that other one was darker than the other, and called themselves, right, and said it. You know what I'm saying? That's the dark skin. That's dark skin Joe. That's light skin Joe. If what you're saying is accurate. But it's not the same conversation as we're having in terms of the Egyptians didn't call themselves black people, right? So this is where they go, yeah, see, we got y'all lost. That's what I mean, like we need to, I don't know how much time we got to break it down, but just make a little screen so we can make it clear that this does not defeat the argument. This is not what we're talking about. This does not defeat any argument that we ever brought forth. I'm gonna continue playing it because dude actually answered. He's gonna break it down. Smash didn't like the answer, but he's gonna actually give commentary on it.
Yeah.
That's a
has not seen in qualifying my stance. This ain't me like, what you think? Do you think? Because I think this do. I waited to the end of the video and came and provided the evidence that qualified my stance, as Kara Cooney just said in the other video that they didn't call themselves black like that for physical appearance. So I got her expert, and because if she say that to them, then she ain't. I mean, then she probably ain't ready to look at this.
What?
I mean, how do you see?
Hey, crazy, yo.
Yeah, right.
What?
This is what I'm talking about comprehension and you know what I'm saying, and confidence. He don't understand when they say they don't call themselves black people.
Yeah.
Wow.
He don't understand what they mean. He think that this is a point. Like, no. Like Karakuna ain't saying that one couldn't have been dark skin or light skin, and they saw that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
You feel me? Well, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
These attestations.
So I will admit here, I'm not an expert, and this is the first time I'm encountering these terms.
Now, he's admitting, saying he's not an expert on personal names. To avoid reading this right now on the spot, and I'm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, but he said he was the top of the top of the top. Remember, he said that at the beginning of the video. That's the top of the top of the top. Remember that? That all Egyptologists come to him. Remember, he said all that. See, y'all forget the shit the niggas say. See what I'm saying?
And he's saying that the dude, yeah, he's trying to, like, he got him in a box.
Yep.
And dude is being deceitful right now because he's trying to get out of reading it.
Yeah, being deceitful. That's crazy. That man not being deceitful.
He shouldn't do it like that. But let's keep going.
Yeah, he shouldn't do it like that, yo. Come on, yo. Yeah, you rabbit at this point. Scam Wellington. Right there, you scamming the intellectual real estate.
Right. Hold on. Go ahead. Yeah.
So I don't really want to offer too many comments because actually you sound much more knowledgeable about this than I do.
So he don't want to offer comments because I sound more knowledgeable about it than he does. But we got incompetent coons who get on the internet and tell me I'm wrong. Slander me, I didn't get called everything.
The dude offers commentary.
But he don't want to holler about this because I sound kind of like more knowledgeable about it. In humility, I'm not taking that in ego. I'm taking that he was being humble.
I'm not an expert, and this is the first time I'm encountering these terms. So I don't really want to offer too many comments because actually you sound much more knowledgeable about this than I do. But the one thing that I would say, again, I don't know about contemporary. I don't know how these terms are used in, contemporary Arabic Egypt or Islamic Egypt, or like I don't know if there are kind of modern parallels to this. But one of the things I think we could definitely say is even if you go to Egypt today, like there are Black people in Egypt. like that's like a.
So he didn't want to read this. He said I sound more knowledgeable to him on it, but what he will say is, even if we go to Egypt today, there are Black people in Egypt. Shout out to Jonathan Winterman. This was a wonderful discourse. And now let me give you some real humble stuff right here. He's correct on what he's saying. It is because if he say he sees these texts the way that I see them, right, and the way that him and Rankin see them, and the way that Howard Blackman seen them, without going into this and confirming that it's not a title or something else, like Woonam said, then he would be kind of like be live on tape making an error. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to pay respect to that. This is one that I didn't send him in preamble.
Just an undeniable fact.
See, and that's what you don't do. You know
right. That's what you don't do.
That's why what we do the interview, the person that we're interviewing, because you don't want to hit them with no surprise scholarship. That way they got time to go over it and they can give you the best assessment. You know what I'm saying? So we let every question, they know what the question is so they can have sources in case somebody has sources. That's why when we got to the end, we asked a question that she didn't have, that wasn't on the slate. And she was like, I don't have that in front of me. I have to get back to you. And we have to accept that because she wasn't prepared to bring a source for that. You know what I mean? So, but know who was knowledgeable of this Happy Kim, Peppy Kim? Camilla DiBiase. She knew exactly. Yep. She knew exactly.
Yes, she was.
I was talking about when I brought it up. She knew exactly who it was. You feel me?
Yep.
Yes, she was.
She's the expert in words.
Yeah, right.
Right. See, that's what you should have got her. That's the one.
Right.
But you said the one you had was the expert of experts, all the experts. You lied, dog. You made that up. You made that up. Why did you do that to us? He never expected that man to say, well, hold on, I'm not actually an expert at that. Because that's what experts do. They know when they get outside of their coursework and study, they say, well, I'm not actually an expert in this area. I'm going to refer you to this. Like the last Egyptologist I talked to, they say, well, after he finished beating the war drum and going in, he was like, yeah, get with Stuart Smith. he said, yeah, yo, he good at this right here. Because man almost ran out of patience with me. It's like, he was thinking that I was a little bit like, come on, man. Come on, dog. He was like,
and
Yeah.
they all keep telling him the same thing. Context
Same.
is king. You need to put yourself in the proper context to be able to accurately translate what you're translating. There is no precedent for the Egyptians to view themselves in this context. Where do you get this from? Your modern concept of what black is, and then you're being anachronistic. Like it's just a vicious circle, man. At this point, boy, slow. If he thought that man said those 4 cows represented the people, if he thought that is what the man says, that says everything.
Way too much.
What up? What up?
What's going on?
And I'm going with y'all.
Chilling, yo. What's going on with you, Lo?
Heck no.
Still listening to that K-Dot, man. That fire he dropped on them niggas today.
Oh yeah, I ain't listening to that shit. I'm on that other nigga head.
Man, he ain't even worth it. I'm telling you.
Worth it to me though, nigga. He worth it to me. That's all that matters.
He's stooping to new
You
lows.
already beat him, yo. You know what I'm saying? Once you
I
kill
gotta dig him up. Now I gotta dig him up. I gotta exhume the body.
Yeah,
I mean,
bury him
exhume
again.
man. Yeah,
Stick him in the heart and bury
these
him
next
again.
interviews, I'm gonna exhume him, put the spear in his heart. Yeah, I'm saying, and then throw the black soil over and the bitumen on him. Put the bitumen on his coffin and bury him.
Oh man,
yeah.
Sound like some real animosity going on out here in these streets.
Not even a little bit, bro. But you know, he called us coons and all that. We coons, he did all that. He threw his gun,
Yeah,
yo.
but
Crazy.
Hey, I feel you on
like,
that.
you know,
I mean, it don't even affect me when a nigga don't matter. You know what I mean? Them type of words just got down. It's almost like damn a stranger said that shit. Like, who are you? You know what I'm saying?
I take it as a compliment.
At this
When
point,
niggas say, when niggas call me a coon, I feel like I'm doing it right.
Yeah.
That shit
I'm doing it
laughable.
right. I'm doing my job. Right
Doing it
now,
right.
he reminds me of the opening bars from Euphoria from Kendrick Lamar. Everything in those opening bars, right? They resemble Smash. He's falling apart. He's looking silly. You ain't a rap artist. You a scam artist. Everything about those opening bars.
Hey, how long ago it was when I told y'all that though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's falling apart at this point.
You first only
to the
kid to
point
scam, yo. I defended him, yo.
Yo,
Well, I think, to be honest with you, I think that hold on. The way he went at the expert, I think like he really believed that shit, bro. This shit broke him, bro.
Yeah, he's broken.
Yeah, listen to Reggie.
Like he did not trust me. He would have never brought that expert on if that is what the response he would have got, bro. He would have never even went.
So you ain't hit me, bro. Yeah, misled by Reggie.
Shit!
Of course he gonna believe it, yo.
I'm saying like that shit. That's why he going nuclear.
Man, the goddamn leading everybody the wrong way.
No, but I'm saying is that's why
someone to blame Reggie for this. How you do that?
But that's what I'm saying. That's why he going nuclear now, bro. Because
I mean, it is what it is.
Listen. He didn't want to release that video. We kept putting pressure on his ass. The video with the expert. We keep saying, "Yo, nigga, drop that video, nigga." What you mean? How long does it take an expert to give approval, nigga? Man, what's going on, man? Drop the video. So he had to drop the video. You know what I'm saying? And he went full blackity. You know what I'm saying? The dude didn't agree with him on none of his stances, bro. Like nothing. Like all the stances.
Play the first part of that video. Play the first part, because that's what that was really our discussion on the first.
I'll find a
Yeah, that's what we
find an
so
remember. I'm gonna try to under the verse.
All right. Yeah, all right. Yeah, use that. Was that the beginning of it? And that. Remember how long we had to argue over Cetteron? Remember that good guy didn't know that?
Oh yeah. That good guy.
Comprehension.
That good guy on the spectrum, man.
Yeah, it is. I think the geneticists would work that out for him.
You gotta use ChatGPT to understand what have.
Man.
What are you doing? With that guy.
So where they at now? They still saying that it don't mean the black soil or something like that.
Oh
Can we-
man, doubling down now. He's making pseudo
Hold
videos,
on. Hold
clipping up
on.
clipping up the experts, getting
That's
them
as
to
far
say
as I
things
got
that
for.
they're
I
not
just
saying.
stopped listening to him. You know what I mean?
No, the expert beat him half to death. His own expert.
He's on the videos.
But why they keep saying like that's what I don't get. Like they keep saying we got killed by our experts. Like I
Why
mean,
they
it's
they
retarded at this
strong
point, man.
they
If they
straw
say the
man the
word black,
argument.
Yeah, they
say a
say
word
black, they
black.
win. Yeah, that's how they
Yeah,
do.
they say black, they win, yo. So,
Yeah.
It
based
was
off
crazy.
Jabari, based off the pseudo Jabari. Remember Jabari? I was on
Mhm.
Charnetta's and I was saying, yo, this website right here, don't use the word black. That was the Nile Valley Collective, right? And I said they didn't
Mm-hmm.
use, they're not using that word black here.
Are
Jabari changed it all the way to something else. You know what I'm saying? And then
Look, they used it.
McCollum picked it up, right? So you never supposed to acquiesce to a false premise, though. And I never
Right,
speak
right.
in absolute. So yeah, that shit was pseudo through pseudo says and pseudo does, yo. It was crazy. It was just completely crazy, yo. Yeah.
Yeah. So they
You know what I'm
strong
saying?
man the argument.
Yeah, it's strong.
Make
He
us
had to go
say
all the way
things we
back to the 80s, the 60s. The niggas saying using the word black and that shit. Crazy.
Man.
Pepe the Chem.
But that's
Oh,
not
you
even
see,
the
it
point.
says Pepe the
I
Chem.
see
You
some
see, they
black
call
cows out
themselves
there.
black.
Like that.
Like really? Nah, man. You gotta do better than this.
Yeah, you gotta do better than that. Just keep name calling, yo. We see where you at.
Yeah, keep doing what you do, bro. Expose yourself completely now.
Hey, how you say it? Keep making them commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep making
Yeah,
them commercials. I appreciate you, yo.
I don't even
And
watch
the
them, so
more
the
you
shit
do
don't
it,
even.
the more you do it,
The shit,
everybody realize, man.
So
hey, look, when you don't
thank
watch
you
the
for
shit, be
letting me
missing,
switch
yo.
the
I don't
don't know
even
if you
watch
had
the
a
shit.
chance to look over the documents from the 1974 Cairo Symposium, where Sar Sanoran was settling matters between Professor Abdullah and Sheikh Anta Diop concerning, well, obviously they were talking about the peopling of Egypt, and in their conversation, race matters came up. And so as we had this conversation now, we figured that's like an antiquated taxonomy. That's not really working for how they looked at things back in the day. But nevertheless, this conversation happened 50 years ago in 1974, and then for their time period, it seemed somewhat appropriate that they looked at things that way. That was one of the leading questions about Egypt and Egyptology for a long period of time. And so then in the attestation, Sir Sonoran put forth to say Black people, the ancient Egyptians would have said Kemet or Kemu and not Kemetiu. And then he went on to say, I'll bring up the quote. He went on to say that nevertheless, that this attestation was not used. They didn't use Kim to talk about the other quote unquote Black people that they knew from the hinterlands from the Old Kingdom forward. And so I know it sounds already like it's kind of loaded, the question, but it's really not, because actually we were spending a while doing this research, and there's nothing that attests to what Sir Sonoran says can be found in Egyptology. So this is why I beseech your expert opinion.
Yeah, so I guess as just a kind of just general kind of statement before we begin is that, like, I do not pretend to be able to tell you what the Egyptians thought or kind of what they definitively meant. Egypt was, people are diverse, people are complicated, every term has multiple meanings. So just because, from a grammatical perspective or a textual perspective, it might seem like it means one thing in one context, doesn't mean that in another context it doesn't mean something completely different.
Exactly.
Words too big. He did not understand that. He just went to say exactly. No smash. That's saying you can't do what you're doing. I told you didn't understand.
Okay, here. Why you stopping, so? Why so stop?
And but following up on, and so the other interesting thing, you said this was the debate that was happening in the 70s. This debate is still going on today, and especially within Egypt and the surrounding areas, and it's not a pretty debate. It's an extremely ugly debate where very, very nasty things are said. So I also just wanted to kind of, acknowledge that. And you see, especially, I feel like you see especially kind of more authoritarian systems of power kind of trying to engage with it, always with the idea that Egypt is something that people want to claim. And there's nothing wrong with claiming ancient Egypt, but there may be something suspicious about claiming ancient Egypt to the exclusion of others. To say that it's a monolithic thing and it's therefore my thing and therefore not your thing. I think that's where I start to get a sense of discomfort. But so to go back to the comment of Sauneron. So basically what he is saying is that you quite correctly point out that the word for black in Medu Necher, should we call it, is kem, or what comes out in Coptic as kema or kem, something like that. The way that the Egyptians made abstracts was with a feminine. So if they wanted to say like the black person, what they would have probably written, again, theoretically, because I can't really tell you any examples that I have of them calling anyone, whether it's themselves, a foreigner, a Nubian, a black person. I don't think that I have any examples of this. But what they would have done, so they would have used the phonetic signs chem, and then they would have had a classifier of a seated man. And again, there's ways of even distinguishing between foreign or Egyptian and foreign in the way that seated figure would have looked. So for example, if they show an Egyptian man or someone like kind of culturally coded to be Egyptian, then you can tell that they're understanding this person is Egyptian. If they show them, perhaps with a feather on their head or, with kind of some other kind of foreign significance or signifier, then this might be showing that they're, being distinguished from the normal Egyptian population. But again, we don't have any of this, as far as I'm concerned. We don't, or as far as I know, we don't have any kind of people that are called the black people, to my knowledge. What instead we have is this kind of abstract feminine form, kemet, which means not the black one, but that which is black. So this is kind of the way that you make feminines in Egyptian and also in some Semitic languages as well. So then what then happens when you have kemet and then you add the nisba ending e or eu for the plural, what you have is saying the one who is associated with that which is black rather than the black one. So I think
how many daggers did you count? How many daggers did you count?
Died on that. That was a horrible death.
Well, y'all stopped in the middle. Why you stopped?
Going.
How many kill shots do you need?
Yeah, I want
some commentary in there, Bobby. Go ahead, play it.
No. I just wanted to finish hearing it. I mean, just the conversation itself, the way he explained it, was just where it was supposed to be at, yo.
That's what Sauneron's point is in that kind of contribution, or in that passage that you've brought to our attention.
Interesting about the Kemet EU specifically. Some argue that when that type of nisba is formed, it's typically toponymic and not related to the root. Like it dismarries the meaning of the root or divorces the meaning of the root and just simply means inhabitants of, and some translate that as you see, they say inhabitants of Egypt. But if ancient Egyptians could not have meant inhabitants of Egypt, because that seems to espouse some type of anachronism to where they would not have even known that term yet. And so you don't detach it from the root, but still there's the question of whether that blackness is a reality that has to do with people or the Nile silk.
Freeze that, Sosa. Freeze that, Sosa. So he's what I call he's triple double talking.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear it? It's called
Yeah.
triple double talking. He
Yep.
said it couldn't have been that because it's an anachronism. Then why in the hell
Exactly.
are you sitting up there arguing with me, yo, for the last year, damn near, yo?
About
If
black.
you understand that to be that, if you put it in your book, why do you still do this, bro? You're scamming.
He
It's just scamming.
identifies it as a toponym, which detaches it completely from the root, right? And still you want to make this claim. Like, how can you say those things?
Yeah, it
Oh,
doesn't
you
even
don't
make sense, yo.
understand what
Yeah, come on, yo.
I
It
was
is
like,
a little bit of a Reggie's argument. You know, they didn't use Egypt. You
But
know,
listen right here, right? What he's arguing though is that, and dude gonna explain to him, he's having an issue with them calling themselves like they've been translated that as the Egyptian. Because dude explained like when you use the term Kim, it refers to an abstract black, and then he told him once you add that EU to the end of it, that Kimu, and
yeah,
make it Kim to Kimu, it means the people from which
is
which is
black.
black.
Facts.
So she was breaking
Yeah.
down explicitly. You got the Kim, that's the black. You add the EU, so now it translates the people from that which is black, which is the same thing as saying the people
Black
of
land.
the Egyptians. So he's going to Camilla DiBiase used the people of the Nile Valley, and he's going to explain how it means the same thing and people put their spin on it. He's going to explain the smash right here because of course they didn't say Egyptians, right?
Right.
I reached that same conclusion
Know that.
watching Smash illogical arguments. I said, but Smash, based on these illogical arguments, I can agree that they're referring to the Egyptians because your position makes no sense.
Let me
Right? And
play.
he's gonna get it again. Play.
Let me play it. Dude going to explain to him how people put their own flair on it. What?
Prevalent, and there are also a bunch of other black realities. How much they the Apis and the Kemet, the divine cattle herd, and all of these things that we could throw in there to see which one they were actually talking about. And so I started to share my screen, but I think I chose a I chose the wrong thing. So if I could share,
dude go jump it while you try to
please
fix this
go on ahead. While you're navigating the complex Zoom window, I will also say that another thing to consider is that, like me personally, I am not sure when ancient texts use the word Kema or Kemet. I am not sure what they're actually talking about. It's very easy to say, oh yeah, they're talking about Egypt, but I'm not sure they're talking about all of Egypt. Like for example, like so basically what this is to say is that a lot of times when we say Egypt, we think, oh, the ancient understanding of Egypt must be equivalent with the modern understanding of Egypt. And we know that that's simply not the case. And we even know it's not the case from Greek sources. So when, for example, Alexandria, the city, was founded, they didn't call it Alexandria in Egypt. So Alexandria was not understood to be in Egypt itself. It was called Alexandria para Aegyptu, Alexandria near Egypt, nearby Egypt, in the surroundings of Egypt. So that's, again, already hinting, this is a late reference that's pretty well attested. So that's hinting that even, around like 300 BCE, that the understandings that we have of what Egypt is and the understandings that what Egyptians and what foreigners, what Macedonians or Greeks had of Egypt at that time is pretty different. So I'm going into all of this with kind of, who actually knows what they were talking about, and a good sense of skepticism on all fronts.
I appreciate that, and that's why this conversation is taking.
Hey, but look right here though. So if we use their translation, look at behold, right? So do we say, behold, I am about to go down to the sacred people? I'm about to go down to the black people?
The sacred black cow
Keep
people.
reading it though. Behold, I'm about to go down to Kemet to buy food for my children.
Black people to buy food for my children?
Contextually, it doesn't make any sense to say I'm about to go down to the black people to buy food to my children.
Well, they actually in that book, Kara, the book that Kara writes chapter and a couple chapters in, she actually This is the story they actually used, though. They used that story. Yeah, they used that story right there. So we know they was going. I mean, come on, yo. You going to the
To a
farming
location.
area, yo,
Yeah, they
like
went to a
Jesus Christ,
location.
yo.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Right.
a
You're going to
location.
the flea market pretty much where all the produce is, the
The,
farmers
the
market on
marketplace.
Saturday
Yeah,
mornings.
yeah, you're going
Yeah.
to the food.
They're
Right.
gonna,
Where
But
produce
gonna
is.
buy food. Where you
but
gonna go to buy food?
why
By the farmers, by the
why
fertile
you gotta go
land.
to the black people to get the food?
Right. You're
So
going food with a
so
farmer.
That's
Right?
racist. That's
do me a
racist.
favor. If y'all pull up a picture of a satellite, NASA satellite imagery of Egypt. Juju, can you tell us your experience with you just got back from the Nile Valley and you
I'm
took a balloon trip? Could you kind of just give us a overview of that trip? Not your trip, but the actual experience of getting in the
yeah,
balloon.
the balloon
Talk to
ride.
us.
I mean,
What
that
was
was the
that?
best. That's the
What was
best
it?
perspective because you got to see the geography from an aerial viewpoint. Though the ancient Egyptians wouldn't have been able to see it that way, but in modern times, I think it can give to the notion how important, how necessary, utter necessity the Nile was. That you have desert, I mean, dead man's land on both sides of the river. And that fertile land only goes but so far. You know, you could literally see it from end to end from the sky. You get what I'm saying?
Uh,
So, like, if you get, I mean, they dropped us off in the desert at the balloon ride, and we were a bit ways from the city. And I mean, just for that quick, few minutes, it was kind of scary because, you get stuck lost in there, you're done. So if I mean, is the cattle going to provide, food and substance for the people? Can black people themselves, without any fertile land, provide food and substance for themselves to not die in the desert? Like those are some of the things that I was thinking as taking this balloon ride and reflecting on the conversation. I hate to have done that, but that balloon ride made it clear as day on how vital the Nile was to them, how much that would have meant, especially in ancient times, without all of the modernity and different things of that nature. You get what I'm saying? So it was equally more important. It
so
just
the
it
okay, so the contrast was striking. Am I correct?
super striking,
So
super striking.
okay, so all right, so let's pin that in our heads, and then remember Kara. No, it wasn't Kara. It was
The
Maggie.
lady Camille.
Maggie, oh, Maggie.
You can
She talked about how she had friends. Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Okay, she talked about she had a friend that lived in Egypt
Yeah,
because the Nile doesn't flood anymore because they dammed
the
it and have
Swan
dams,
Dam.
right?
It's actually two
Talk
dams.
about how yeah, they talk about how you could stand. One foot could be in the black soil and the other foot could be in the desert.
Yes,
And I'm saying early humans, yo, like y'all tripping. So you're looking at a geographical feature that wouldn't have been anywhere else, right?
mm-hmm.
At least in their world. That's striking. The people themselves, you're not striking when you see everybody that like you anyway. That's not
Exactly.
striking, right? Is when you have a geographical feature, and that will be a toponym. You know what I'm saying? Like when you name
Facts.
lands and all that, it's come on, yo. Like we supposed to take our time and actually look that up and see what that is. It's a place name, yo.
It's a place
And you use
name.
geographical
For them.
features. So if
The
Correct.
it's a
gold
mountain, it was a
Peru.
mountain. It was a mountain. Something. It's real different from everything around it.
Mm-hmm.
And you named the place the land of five mountains. Say you got five mountains. The
Right.
land of five mountains, right? So when you got to that area, you seen five mountain peaks of five mountains, you would know you was at the spot, right? So, but if you saying it's the land of black people, right? But you already surrounded by nothing but those people. Anyway,
Everybody. This is
everybody
like
is brown.
is a
Everybody
shade
is
of
light
brown.
brown, shade of brown,
Exactly.
right? Everybody. So
So
you would be lost. Okay, where am I at? If I go down, then you really be lost. If you went down the Nube, you say, "Oh, these people appear through my vision, they darker." You know what I'm saying? Is this the place? No, it's
yeah,
not because that's not it.
Right. Some of the Nubians look just like the Egyptians. You'll only know if they're Nubian. A lot of the Nubians are very proud, so they'll tell you they're Nubian. You know what I'm saying? They seem to have affinity towards they're darker tones, but there are some very light Nubians. You wouldn't know. Another thing that was very stood out as you're driving, I said to you this before, every time you saw a patch of land that a building wasn't standing in, and like this is in the city. A lot of times, it seemed like there was an urgency to grow or plant something whenever there was an opportunity, to do so, or land. It's like they didn't waste any bit of that land because it's only so much you have. You know what I'm saying? Coming out from the Nile on both sides, you're limited. So they basically try to utilize as much as possible. Behind everybody's house in their backyard, there's at least an acre. They're planting something. It was always like this thing of constantly trying to plant where there was an empty plot of land. It was wild, but it solidified what it was for me. That was, the nail in the coffin for sure. If I had any doubts, they were gone, which I didn't. The experts have already spoken before I went, but to see that, I, y'all talking crazy.
Early
The
he was
whole thing is,
a simple. Go ahead.
okay, so the whole thing is that, the bottom line is that prior to European contact, there is no, I won't say no way, but it's not reasonable. We don't have any evidence of an African looking at his natural skin and thinking that his natural skin is black in complexion.
Right. Exactly.
So it would be far-fetched to think that the Egyptian that range from dark to light one would look at his darker or slightly lighter brown, even more lighter skin, and say, my skin is black. If anything, they would say Desher, because at least you got the reddish brown complexion that they painted themselves.
Right.
That's more realistic. They would not look at the natural skin and think that my skin is black. That concept only comes from outsiders.
Correct.
In comparison to them, looks black in actuality because they're so pale. In other words, you feel me?
Exactly.
So that reality wouldn't even come about within their own natural context. So that's why it's just crazy.
And
It had to
they
be
named
something.
themselves white people.
Understood.
Don't forget that.
Understood.
Don't forget that.
the difference
Somebody,
between-
y'all overlapping.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
People don't forget
Ooh, you in the matrix.
You're in a bad spot,
white
huh?
people.
God, yeah, you are.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Cedric.
That's fine. Go ahead, sir.
I was saying, and the Egyptians understood the fact that they had that their color, their skin tone, which they
Wait, window
represented
up.
themselves, was distinctly different. From the chem that they used to paint their gods with. So, like, it's all these arguments are silly.
No, I think one of the simplest ones is so this is a sensible argument. What we would call Kemet as a place name, what would be representative of I read this actually 2% of the landmass of all of Egypt. The rest of that 98% is Deseret. So if you're, just that would definitely be something you would deify, to have so little of fertile land. It just does not make any logical sense. There are too many other implications that are illogical or improbable. Is that what you said? For it to ever be that of Black people, and you have the Nubians that are right there in Egypt with you that are a bit darker. I mean, almost the same. Like you're all the same, all the way down to the Nile. You all can be similar. You get dark as you go south, but still, you could still be, parts of the same family. No one would know that. No one would know that if we didn't know any better. So it's wild.
So,
Like-
can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Better.
So I said, like I said, in the 1700s, white people named themselves white people. Prior to that, wasn't nobody called white people.
Because they wouldn't look at their skin and think that their skin is the actual color white.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And they called themselves white people after they called us black people. Remember that?
Yeah, and like
Wow.
Fenton, Fenton was saying the same thing. Like they knew what the color brown was.
Mhm.
Why would they
Yeah.
go with black over
Yeah, why
brown?
would they go
Brown
black
is
over
in
right?
actuality much more closer to the skin tone. That's what I'm saying. And that brownish paint that they use, that desert retro, that reddish brownish paint that they depict themselves in 99% of the time. That reddish brownish paint, that's what they mostly represent themselves as. At least the males.
Yeah, she talked about that too. Talk about the male talk. No, oh no, the guy talked about that. Oh man, that's a man. So yeah, I think I don't even understand how. Like it's incomprehensible, man. You can't even like yo. I don't even know. But I like you said, yo, it's that daggone that played football too long or something, yo. You got concussed, yo. The Egyptology concussed him, yo. So we trying to do damage control at this point, yo.
Yeah. You gotta. Like when I told you when he came back, he gonna change the set, bro. He ain't finna keep
No,
working on the interview. That shit, that ain't doing no good.
resort to memes and silly edited clips and stuff, lying on top of it. Man, he's just throwing his guns at
Yeah,
it.
Hey, you can tell.
I thought I'd never see the day.
Remember how they said like
I'm
you can
trying to
tell
fight that. But I thought he would fight with real scholarship.
Hey, but listen, remember they used to say you can tell who win
Huh?
after the debate. You can always tell who won a debate.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I'm saying,
They-
yeah, you can tell. I'm saying, why he angry?
Why
Exactly.
mad, yo? I ain't even mad. I'm like, man.
Why are you in the
And
good spirits and he angry, bro? What's going on?
yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure why he mad. I mean, yo, he got his
He's he got CTE. Yeah,
He mad as
Nah, bro,
hell.
why he
what is
mad, yo?
I
Man,
want
that's
to
to
the
I don't
point that he
that's that
said, period.
concussion shit with the play
He said,
the NFL
period.
players get.
GTS,
Because
Pseudo killers
delusion.
are
No,
cool.
CTE.
Period.
CTE is like
CTE, CTE.
yeah. The
I,
football players
I'm
get.
so I'm having a problem. Why are we just appealing to the language as a set all be all? I've seen a lot of comments. Oh, revert back to the text.
Hold on, what happened? Hold on, what happened? Why are
Language.
we doing what?
Why is it that they're just appealing to the language as a set all be all in this conversation? Whereas the language is part of the culture, there's other evidence to substantiate the things we're saying. I feel like that's a fallacious logic to be using to just say the language is it. Y'all gotta y'all gotta check that bias.
Yeah, I mean, we already went over that with them. But like I said, there's no evidence outside of the language. That's why they don't want to leave the language. That's why I mean, that's why they use Peppy Kim. That they're trying to. That's why they try to create these narratives because they need context outside
Got
of
it.
the language.
Right.
That's why they use the Peppy Kim, Henny Kim to say, see, we have people referring themselves as black, so we have it here where this is. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just that we're reading it black. The context fits because they're like, no, it's not the same thing.
Right.
Not the same thing because they
Saying
can't
more
do
to
it
the
with
culture than the
right.
language, though. So
Right. They can't use the land argument because you have actual black land. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
you do. Even at the pyramids, if you dig deep enough in some of the spots, there's black soil, and it's not that
No,
far.
I'm saying they can't use the black land argument because there's actually a desert red land. So
Yeah.
logically, you would think that the darker land, the black will call black land, but apparently that's just
But
absurd. You think of that. That's crazy.
the land is literally black, though.
Yeah, but apparently it's crazy talk to think that they would think that.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like,
I mean, so everywhere you see green is coming out of that black. Vegetations are constantly growing stuff. I mean, so the tourist industry is like what, number 2 there? Number 1 is the usage of the Aswan Dam, okay? So they're constantly growing because they use the camels and their donkeys and all this stuff for the tourism. And it was a lot of damn people there everywhere. Not to say it was feast time, it was the end of Ramadan. So it was a lot of locals that were at the sites, which I thought that was interesting. So everywhere they're growing stuff. So you see green patches of green everywhere. Like you see, it's like where they're cultivating. So it's coming from black soil. Like we've seen it. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's it seems so obvious. And even I think Mufundishi was there around the same time. And to hear some of the stuff they're saying, I cringe because I'm like, how are you like around the people you're immersed in the culture at this moment, but still it's that type of you're doing that thing. Like the Blackology is so it's I'm speechless. I just don't know what to say about it because it seems very obvious. And I went
Did he
in
do
with
any kung fu?
an open mind. No. He was trying to get he was doing like he was somewhere doing the tour like the like our tour guide does. He was doing that, facilitating that, but he was lying on this stuff, the pyramids, do all the powerful like all that crazy stuff they say about the pyramids. The pyramids aren't doing none of that. They don't got none of that going on. The pyramids ain't do nothing, spectacular, produce electricity and all that crazy stuff. None of that.
Not anymore, Juju, because they don't have the crystal on top anymore.
Man,
Crystal.
I think it was gold and alabaster.
You're right.
Okay. And I'm not gonna get into that.
But see, the language makes for the perfect mind. Like so if you're in an argument, you need something to fall back on, even though they're not contextualizing it right. They fall back on it. See that black people? They say, there you go. So that's why they're gonna hang on to that for dear life, because that's defendable in their mind. Because it's right there on the script. And they might not understand what it's saying, but it's still right there on the script. You see it with your very eye. So in this Martin Bailey argument, that's a pretty solid mind. And I don't think they let that go no time soon. Even though they done took an L. What's this? What this make like 6 times now? 6, 7 times they done took an L.
Let me make that correction.
They're gonna figure out some way to reword this and say that Egyptologist was agree with it.
Yeah, they're going to strawman the arguments again. They're going to move the goalpost and say something we didn't say and say the Egyptologists agree with them, especially when they start clipping up and making these lying ass videos. So
let me make a
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I'll let you finish. I'm sorry.
No, I was done. I'm good.
I was going to say, I'll make a correction. It's the Suez Canal. That's the #1 revenue that Egypt garners, and tourism is second. Cairo has 25 million people in that city, so you can imagine the magnitude. New York got nothing on Cairo. That's all I can say. 25 million people. That's it. I just want to make that correction.
And they displaced the population. That's not the real population.
So I talked to Nubians about that. You talking about what they call Lake what is it? It's not Lake Lanier. God, well, I'm in Atlanta, but Lake Narmer, is that it? Help me out, Kevin. And I talked to the Nubians and I asked them about, so did they bury some of the artifacts in the lake and stuff like that? And he was like, no, like they removed everything before they filled it. I mean, this is what a Nubian told me. I only asked one, so I'm not going to appeal to authority, but there was no conspiracy. You get what I'm saying?
No, they dug as much. They got as much they could get. Some things is underwater though. It's a project. I'm not sure if a local would know that though, but they got as much they could get. There's some things on the water though. You could go to the actual website.
Yeah, I know there's some things on the water, but I was thinking like I was asking them like stuff that they don't know about, something that's like really are they hiding something from us? I was asking them like that.
Let's I'm gonna throw this little clip right here. I like this little breakdown, this glyphs. What family did, what Jonathan did on his not Jonathan Smack, but the other Jonathan.
Who's the other Jonathan?
Huh? The other guy, his name is Jonathan. All right.
Yeah, he did a great job right there. And then Smash messed it up. Go ahead.
You talking about the expert, this guy, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Oh, what's his last? I'll be okay.
So here's another attestation I wanted to look at, and this one comes from
This is from the
spell
coffin text.
189G of coffin text. Now, this one is crazy because we have a few reconstructions made by, I think, Seth. And I just want to read, I contacted another, my last book I published recently is called Black Like Osiris. It's on Amazon. I'll send you a copy just for the fun of it. But in working on a volume 2, I actually got this from a linguist PhD who I had look at this text, and what he said was 2 versions of the spell 189G of the coffin text clearly read Haka in ek kemet tepiu ta, and that can be translated as you have ruled Egypt, which are on the earth, which is inconsistent as far as number agreement is concerned. If one translates kemet as Egyptians rather than Egypt, the plural agreement of the phrase tepiu is consistent with that of kemet as a plural noun. This interpretation is consistent with that of other lacunary versions of the spell, whose reconstructions appear to have meant to be read haka in ek kemu tepiu ta. In this case, the reference to Egyptians rather than to Egypt is more explicit. It says, since the word for Egyptians, kemu, is directly derived from the root kim rather than from the word kemet, that the plural of the word is marked by the more unambiguous plural marker, or W, I should say. It says, and that the word's reference to humans is expressed by the classifier. If these reconstructions and translations are correct, one would have another instance of the word him, Egyptian, and thus a further plausibility of the etymological meaning of kemet as the black ones. Now, this is crazy here, so I will hear from you. How would you respond to that?
Yeah, so I agree with half of it, and I'm not seeing the second half. So basically, so what we're looking at here is we're looking at a few different versions. So these are all ancient versions of the same text, but you can see they're all written a little differently. And of course, because we're dealing with evidence that's thousands of years old, not all of it survives. So that's why you have some of it fragmentary. What's interesting here, and you also see that there's some differences. I'm sure you could recognize, here we have tepiu ah, with then a seated man, a kind of member of the honored dead. So this is in the second, sorry, I'm not sure, I realize that you can't see my mouse, but this is the second column from your left. So.
Okay, you see my mouse?
Yes, I can. Yours is the blue dot.
Down here,
right?
when you say tepiu ta?
Yeah, so tepiu ta, so that's one version, but then if you go to your left 2 columns, yeah, right there. So there you also see tepiu ah, not tepiu ta. So with the iron arm, and then with a kind of seated mummified person as a classifier. And then compare this with the very first version on your left, which is just tepiu ta, where there's clearly no people being meant. There's no human classifier. It's just the word for land. So that's kind of that. So we're looking at not only one version, but we're looking at kind of the Egyptians themselves are trying to say, okay, well, what was this actually saying? And they're coming up with a few different versions of what they think that this text is trying to say or what they want it to say. Now, this is also from a coffin text, and the coffin texts, like the pyramid text before them, are very unique in the way that they're writing the Medu Neter. So what they like to do, for example, they like to drop any weak consonants. And sometimes they like to write only the bare minimum number of glyphs that are required. And so based on that, and if we take kind of the version to the far left as kind of the simplest, I do agree with this author's statement that we should be understanding this as you ruled the Egyptians, Kemet to you, rather than Kemet. So again, restoring the yod and the W after the T as weak consonants, those who are on the earth. So basically just saying you ruled the people of Kemet, those who are on the earth. So that I see very clearly, and that I do agree with the author there. Where I am more hesitant to follow the author is when they then turn to say, this is consistent with the other lacunary versions of the spell, whose reconstruction appears to have meant to be read as Heka en ek Kemu Tepiuta. Because I don't see any examples here where that T is not preserved for us.
Oh, I'm sorry. You mean the Kemet T?
Yeah, so I see the Kemetiu, but I don't see any versions of Kemu. So where
Okay, so I think I want to explain something that I probably should have gave you. The star here, and it goes back to footnote number 7, where he argued that Kurt Self argued that this K and this M, he argued that what was missing here was the Uchik. So you see the Uchik here with a man, and then we see the Uchik here. So it could be argued that it is a complete Kemet here, but then there's not enough space for the reed leaf and the Uchik to make that be a Kemet to you. So I think the argument is based on what is stated by this reconstructing, that there is a Uchik here. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, but again, and this is now speculation because this is lost, but I would not also, because every other version that we have that does preserve the word preserves a T here, I would say that there's enough room for a quail chick and a T.
Okay.
Because a lot of times you could have the chick kind of like, because the chick has a natural kind of like slant to it, so it's really easy to squeeze that T, that half kind of bread loaf, in like above its back, so it can still fit within kind of one square or rectangular portion. Of course, now I'm speculating here. This is just my best guess.
All speculating. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But in that hypothesis, you say they omitted the reed leaf just because Kemet U is a construct we really never find.
I think we do find it.
See what I'm saying? That's what I said. Dude is back. Keeps bop. The Kemet is something we don't really find.
Yeah,
Dude is like, we do find it. It's like,
yeah, man.
No, we do.
And he doing a great job. Who knew you could slide the glyph in there like that in the midst of spaces? So I'm not sure that when Smash talk about this, did he let us know that each one of them lines with some different texts? That's crazy.
I'm curious to had he known like how he explained, like he talk about how the pyramid text and his coffin text, how they write a particular way and they use the bare minimum. Like I'm not sure if he was knowledgeable of that or not. You know what I'm saying? Because like all those like it's the minutia that's gonna make that. Huh?
Didn't he say that right there we were looking at it's different texts from different time periods? Didn't he say that?
Right. Yeah. So they're trying to understand what the text meant or
crazy,
represent,
right?
or explain the text.
Yeah, by looking at text, by looking at different text. That's crazy. I never heard Smash explain that to us. He made it seem like maybe he did. I never heard him explain that like that. We're looking at different texts.
Could have. I never heard. But
let's go back to what they're trying to figure out what mean. So
so we go back to it because Smash said they don't find it. That dude said, well, they do. So let's see what Smash said they don't find, and let's see what the experts said they do find.
I've never heard him say a speculation.
Again, because the reed leaf as a weak consonant and the W.
So what?
I said that guy said it's speculation. If we don't have all the text.
Yeah, because I think those lines represent the pieces that are missing. They don't know what's there.
That's what I'm saying. Like Smash don't ever take that humble position of I don't know what you're saying.
No, he never takes that stand. Say it is what it is, yo.
All right, let's get to the point where Smash said it ain't there, and let's see what the experts
consonant are likely to be dropped.
Like on some of the in that hypothesis, you say they omitted the reed leaf just because Kemet U is a construct we really never find.
I think we do find it, again, because the reed leaf as a weak consonant and the W as a weak consonant are likely to be dropped in certain religious texts.
I never find because my lack of my limited research. I apologize. I don't know what you guys. You probably with a KMT without the reed leaf and an Uchik. I couldn't. You know where I could find that at?
I don't have the reference. I don't have a reference offhand, but I could say that it would not be. I don't think it would be particularly weird.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's interesting, and that shares a lot of light on some of the things.
You know what I'm saying? Like he gotta be prepared.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't just drop him on like that. He gonna be like, see what I'm saying? Like I'm not sitting there ready to pull out sources. I don't have it offhand. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they gotta prepare them for the interview.
Yeah, but that kind of did. I'm saying if what he's saying is right and exact, yo, then that means he just yeah, it's crazy, yo. Yeah, I find it very interesting right there, yo.
Yeah, that's
If
what I'm saying.
that's true, then Mash, you missed all of that Smash. So you
Yeah.
making solid determinations off of shit that you ain't even know, and you find that all through this interview. So he's actually making determinations, and all the experts we say they be like, we don't got this, we don't got that, this, that, and the other, blah blah blah. You got that, bye bye, bing, bing, boom, and they never speaking in absolute show, but Smash is speaking in absolute show. Yo,
Yeah, he said he never seen it. He never
that.
seen it. Like you're not. There's no way you've read as much material as that people do. You know what I'm saying? Like
no way, nigga. You missed half of it because you high off of weed right now. Right now.
Yeah.
Shit, right now.
So
Come on,
saying,
yo,
dude, it's
Cali
like a,
Sesame or something.
you know, it's like a rap battle, dude. Just hitting them with rebuttals. Like I didn't know he went this blackology with it, but you know what I'm saying, he went blackity black with it, black reality with it. Dude kept like, nope.
They were hard, yo. That's why I thought that was a good interview, yo. But,
Yeah, I didn't know how good it was to release the whole thing.
Yeah, to be seeing the whole thing and got away from Smash lying over the top of the man. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen about it.
I know, right? Trick. Count the daggers. Count the daggers. Let's get it.
He faked this out.
Yeah, let's get it.
Yo,
So
play an interview of an expert, which is
Go ahead. I pause.
not saying play an interview with an expert, then talk over this shit. That's a hell of a tactic there, yo. We're gonna put that in the pseudo handbook.
I know, right?
Yeah, we're gonna put that in the pseudo handbook.
Man, imagine we did that, yo, with Rebecca White, experts. As soon as they say so, yeah.
Oh man,
got him.
Yes.
Drop that DQ music. Drop that DQ music, y'all.
Black like that.
Drop that DQ music.
So I'm wondering why this guy got to go learn some more to come back to figure out whether or not, so he can agree with them. They, that's what Pan African James said. He was like, this guy got to go learn.
Yeah, that was crazy.
This guy sound pretty sharp to me.
And you know, I told Reggie that earlier. I said, bro, why would you have Pan African James and that good guy on the panel critiquing the expert? Well, that was disrespectful to even have that level of incompetence on the panel saying anything about that field, bro.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, they have, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
They can't even understand it. Read the Lord.
Read the glyphs.
Right, get out of here. They're going to read the glyphs. Smash can't even understand it. He just started understanding that. And he act like he understood what he didn't even explain it right to the expert at the beginning of the video, because he left out the last crucial sentence when they say they never use color to describe each other. Remember that sentence, yo, at the end? Remember that? He left that out completely. Oh wow, boy. Oh, but tangle way we
Right.
But get it right. Let's see what he said. Let's go.
Can we go back for 1 second? I had more to say about the other versions. So notice, so that's just the first version. Or the first and last version. So the version on the left and the version on the right, and then some of the versions in the middle as well, where they say, you ruled the Kemetiu, those who are on the earth.
Hey, but hold on. Dude say, bring that back, family. Let's go back.
Hold on, you starting to scam.
Yeah, you ain't getting out of here like that. I got some more to say about that, bro. Bring that back. Bring that back. You know what I'm saying? So let's go. Let's go.
Smell scam.
It's interesting though that the other versions, for example, specifically the second and the third one, kind of play with this. Well, the third one says the Kemetiu, those who are on earth. But the second version then whatever it was, it said, whether it says chemu or chemiu or chemetiu, who knows? But then the phrase after it, tepiu ah, not tepiu ta, but tepiu ah. This is a word for ancestors. So I, like you having ruled the chemetiu or the chemiu, the ancestral ones. So there we see a variation. And so I'm not sure if it's kind of important to your research, but I did want to point it out because
that's very important. Now I stumbled and fumbled on that tepiu for a minute. I couldn't find examples of it.
Yes, he's stumbling and fumbling. That's why
he's stumbling and fumbling, yo. And that's it. And just the liveliness of the text, the way he's reading it, yo, it gives that African flair, yo. You know, the ancestor, that's deep. Yo, messing up the deepness of it. He's scarring the Africanness of it, yo. That's why I'm offended. I'm appalled.
And he just seen it.
Of Smash Scamwell to do that, to take away.
And he just seen it. And he just seeing it, huh?
Yeah, he just seeing it, yo. He had like he's seen it all.
Yeah, let me see that again. Okay. Whoop, 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 whoop. Pop, 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 pop. No, pop, 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 pop. Look right there. Whoop, whoop. You know what I'm saying? Bam, bam, bam. Bam, 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 bam.
The expert like Mayweather, yo. Hey, left hand, right hand, left hand.
Smash, he's bumbling and fumbling. So let's bumbling, fumbling, stumbling.
Yo, man, that shit crazy.
It's a word for ancestors, essentially, or like primordial forefathers.
So like ots are at the root of atef, like fathers, or atef?
No, it's different. It literally means like those who are first of action, or those who are first of occasion, something like that. It's a totally different root. And it's also one of these words where, like, in order to find it in the dictionary, like sometimes you have to look under tep, sometimes you have to look under
so it's kind of like a phrase in a way, like tepiu ah.
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate that. And so well, I don't have much to say about that.
We gotta clip that one right there. He's like,
Frazier goes down. You ever seen that? Frazier's down.
Yeah, that nigga be paused. So he's like, shit, I don't know.
Hey Billy, stop the tape. Cut that out.
Yeah, this was what? Hey, bro, this was a dope rap battle right here, bro. They get it.
Man, run that back, yo. That was spectacular. Go ahead with the ancestors. Yo, say ancestors, the one's first in action. Yo, that shit's deep. That's deep the way yo hit the ancestors. That shit was deep.
I don't have much to say. It's disagreements. I see how. I don't have much to say about that. I don't have any disagreements. I see how you see these things, and that you're saying that there could be space here for what?
Here, I'm gonna draw a little diagram for you, or a little mock hieroglyph of how I think there could have been space.
I'm a draw.
Yeah.
Hold on,
something like this, where you have.
So I'm going to stop sharing. So
yeah, nigga, bomb. You know, with that kid Lamar, nigga. Bomb.
Okay, yeah. So then,
I'm a draw it for you, yo.
There you go. Right there, right?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they have just put a TU bird? If space was an issue, TU bird would have solved it.
They could have also put a TU bird instead of a quail chick. It could have just been a TU bird. That's another option.
So when I ask myself, then if I'm the artist and I'm trying to say something,
I'm trying to
press the space, and I have a glyph that fits, then I need me trying to figure it out. I need a reason why he didn't use that. And you know what I'm saying? I'm saying in order to answer my own queries, I'm like,
you never know.
He just like no, and it's plenty of instances of that.
You'll never know.
Where I'm like, why did he just omit it? We know about graphic transposition and everything. Most of the people who will follow this video, if I get to release it, they will possibly know what we're talking about too. We have a small audience of somewhat novice grammarians who really love your field of work, and so your opinion is going to be, trust me, people are going to say the Egyptologist said. That's what I'm going to hear a whole lot of. You know what I mean?
Got that right.
So it's interesting because
Hey, yeah, that's the one part. Hey, that's the one thing he got spot on.
got
You
that
got
right.
that
Man.
right on. That was it.
Egyptology said, smash said,
Right. We definitely gonna lean to the expert.
fumble, yo.
That's what we do. We definitely gonna lean to with the expert. They got
Definitely
more
gonna
experience.
lean more experience, and it was like yeah. Let's get checking. It was like it was like being in class, yo, and you're a good student. So Smash is like a good student in the class, so talking to the professor, and everybody is quiet, you know, because Smash been reading for years, and the teacher, the professor is going, you know, he's teaching. You know what I'm saying? See, he teaching. If he was slick I tell you who do it real good. What's his name, yo? The astrophysicist. What's his name, yo? What's his name? Sosa. Smart like astrophysics, yo. He be
talking
bang.
about that's the gauge.
Huh? No, the white guy. No, the white guy.
About Krauss.
Krauss, yeah, Krauss hit you when you get something wrong. He was like, "Yeah, see, I'm teaching.
Yeah,
I'm teaching. Yeah." So the professor was like, "Yeah, well, see, I'm teaching right now." So he was actually teaching Smash, yo. That's good for Smash, yo. See, Smash turned this into something that it didn't have to be, yo. Man, that's a learning experience for that man, yo. Beta sit with that guy, yo. That means something, yo. I mean, that's why I say the community is just better off. You know what I'm saying? Oh goodness, what I said.
Yeah. Especially when he already said at the beginning, he been trying as hard to get people to sit down and actually had the conversation with. So, you know, he's supposed to appreciate that. Rather, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It may not fit your narrative, bro, but you don't gotta tear it. You know what I mean? Take your ball and go home type situation. You know?
Yeah, that's real.
You know my address?
Yeah, I did.
Let me see right here. I think that's where they're going to the land. Like I said, everywhere he went, like dude was right there with him, bro.
Especially as someone.
So hold on, I'm trying to find out.
Like the main focus.
Huh?
No, go ahead.
Focus of my research lately has been religious texts of the New Kingdom that are written in a ornamentally, sometimes called cryptographic or enigmatic script. So this is the questions that you're asking about, like, why did they not choose to write it this way, or why did they choose to write it that way? I'm asking a lot of these same questions, and a lot of times it almost looks like they are celebrating the diversity of the available writings that they have. So basically, in order to kind of show off their chops, like it's very common to even see things that are not written consistently within the same text. And that doesn't mean that there's an error or that they're like, sometimes it can be anything. It could be a conscious choice to kind of show off their scribal chops, to say, like, look, here I know how to spell it one way, but here's another way. Like, look how knowledgeable of a scribe I am. Sometimes it could do with space concerns, or sometimes there's just no way to answer why they're choosing to do it one way and not another.
Sometimes I just may not know.
Thank you for that answer.
The expert today said the
I
same.
just got these up here for the.
Huh?
The expert today said the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
About them writing things in different ways, like, you know, just expressing their ability or their skill and things like that. Like, she said something very similar earlier today. That's interesting.
Yeah, she's an expert on the language.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
The fun of it, because some confusion about the 049 town determinative. It doesn't appear to be confusing to me when I do look over various texts of how it's used, and I'm trying my hardest to find another term where they strictly and specifically attach 049 to the root and say that it means land. In most instances, it means a town, a city situation, or something like that. But when we translate Kemet, it supposedly translates back to the black land. Now, in Jesheret, we have this Kasat determinative, which would be indicative of, you know, foreign countries, hill country, and they use it for desertous area, which we also have here translated back as land. Do you know what I'm missing about this 049 glyph and how in this word Kemet is translated to just mean land?
Yeah, so again, so one thing that I will say first, I hope you'll be excited that I can provide other examples of, regions that are given the city determinative.
Okay.
So especially when they say Ta Mehu, the land of Lower Egypt, or Shemau, Upper Egypt. A lot of times they'll give those city determinatives. Not always.
No, I'm with you.
But sometimes.
I'm with you on those, but that appears unfair because they literally say land there. Ta.
Sometimes, but
right
not
there,
always. So sometimes.
Yeah, everybody take cover. No, I'm just.
Yeah,
Hey,
see how
Sosa.
he tried to fight.
Hey, Sosa.
Yeah.
Yo, he didn't want no examples.
I know. Yeah, he tried. He'll back it up a little bit too.
He was like, back that up, yo. He ain't want no
Yeah.
example. He said, you'll be glad to know that I got examples. I know somebody's like, no.
Yeah, shit.
Oh man, see, I'm teaching right now. You'll be glad to know I have examples for you.
And that's why you need people that's smarter than you.
Yeah.
To let you know what you may have missed.
Right. That's why you need an expert.
Yeah, let me
That's
look
the
into
point.
that, bro.
That's the point. So why would anybody resist, right? These professors, these experts, they regularly go to, to Egypt. The last Egyptologists I talked to, they just getting back from a dig, right? And what they're doing is they're actually mapping out the glyphs and stuff, right? That's what they do. Okay. And it's a project that they're on. I'll tell y'all when it's time for that interview to come out. Right. And man, that's what they doing for their less. How they make their money, yo. Smash make his money on the road rapping, yo. That's how he make his money, yo. Smash is selling out gas stations.
They do this for real. He tripping. That's a good shot. That's a good shot.
Selling out gas stations, yo. That's what he doing.
That's a good one right there. He just selling out a Quick Trip. He tripping.
Yeah, the Quick Trip, yo. That's what he doing.
Hey, Quick Trip pretty big though.
Yeah, pretty big.
Yeah, after the party now, I seen you pretty good little crowd pull up at the Quick Trip now. Let's go back to this rebuttal round real quick.
Yeah, let that man finish having them examples right there. Yo, that's funny. Yo, I got this.
A lot of times
it's translated to mean land.
Yeah, so again, so one thing that I will say first, I hope you'll be excited that I can provide other examples of, regions that are given the city determinative.
Okay.
So especially when they say Ta Mehu, the land of Lower Egypt, or Shemau, Upper Egypt. A lot of times they'll give those city determinatives. Not always.
No, I'm with you.
But sometimes.
I'm with you on those, but that appears unfair because they literally say land there. Ta.
Sometimes, but not always. So sometimes it's Ta Mehu, sometimes it's just Mehu, sometimes it's Ta Shemau, sometimes it's just Shemau.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
And even when we see Shemau, we know they talk about Ta Shemau, and Mehu, we know they talk about Ta Mehu. And so the Ta is omitted.
Yeah, but again, going back now.
Right. He kind of explained why you wouldn't even need one there. Because you know what talk about a land space. You don't have to put the term. It's
Yeah, go back there again. That's when you're in the field, working in the field, yo. That's
you know say something, Joe?
Logical digs.
Huh? But hold up, y'all. So that kills the idea that you got to have the land glyph.
Yeah, he killed it. Yeah. You ain't know that, yo? We've been through that. I just sit back and laugh.
I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that. That's why I didn't know.
That's what
Smash.
when I look up at the
Smash.
ChatGPT, we talked about that. Remember, I was like, the ChatGPT was like, it's a personal place name, and sometimes place.
I wasn't listening to y'all. I wasn't listening to y'all. I was listening to the guy who read it expertly.
But they would say the thing, though, like, the place name, because it's so well known, and Smash just said the same thing. We know they're talking about top land.
So he said that. He said that.
He said
so think about it, yo. I think that what's some comment the sister that y'all just heard today, she actually talks about how like when you talk about the Capitol, like everybody know the White House is Capitol. You don't got to use it because you know what you're talking about. Y'all get that?
Right.
Yeah, I got that. She said because you'll be meaning America, but you'll just be saying like DC or Washington. Or something.
Yeah.
And I be
Yep.
learning shit from ChatGPT, because it was like the classifier is the adjective is just to explain something that may not be known.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
To make sure
Yeah.
you can understand, but if you already understand it, I don't need to say that.
I don't need it because we know that Washington is the capital, so we don't got
Yeah.
to put the determinative for capital. Everybody know what
Oh,
Washington
wow.
D.C. is.
I
Right.
did
Y'all
not
get it right.
process this
Y'all
like
get
this.
it right.
I got
Yeah, I
that.
got it
It was
now,
very
but I
clear.
didn't
Y'all got it
before.
now, right? Y'all got it right.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
just
but
watch
guess
the
what?
video over. It's there for y'all to watch over as many times as
Guess why? Guess where I learned that at though? I learned that listening to the lady that just y'all heard today. Yeah, yo. And y'all gonna learn more and more and more. Y'all gonna realize, yo, that the YouTubers is just the threshold where you first start at. We should have always started, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we should have actually started with real professors, but since most of us couldn't get to college, we did the best we can. That's why I get so upset when they play like they professors, yo, because I felt like we supposed to push the people to the experts to get a better understanding of it.
Hey, I learned that arguing with Sadiq. Because guess what I did? I said, I'm sick of the niggas saying that shit. I said, Chat GPT, why is there no land determinative for Kemet? And it just spat it out. And then I showed it to him, and he was like, I'm gonna look into that. I'm like, what? Like, anyway, let's get to this rebuttal.
Sometimes, but not always. So sometimes it's Ta Mehu, sometimes it's just Mehu, sometimes it's Ta Shemau, sometimes it's just Shemau.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
And even when we see Shema'u, we know they talk about Ta Shema'u. And Mehu, we know they talk about Ta Mehu.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Ta is omitted.
Yeah, but again, going back to now your question about whether we should translate Kemet as the land of Egypt, you're quite correct here in saying that there's nothing clearly in this word or in kind of attestations of this word to say the land of versus Egypt. What this literally says is that which is black. Like the abstract black thing. And then from there, people have added their own flair and nuance in translations, possibly, and again, maybe this is where maybe where your research is getting at something, but possibly in an inconsistent way with other geographic terms.
Very much so. Now, when the scholars and they've all come to a consensus of somewhat what you told me, then the question is, what is which black? You know what I'm saying? And it comes down to, again, the people of the soil. So I'm going to leave the people thing alone a bit and try to see what scholars leaned on besides secondary sources to come to the conclusion that the blackness that this referred to was the Nile silt.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the, unfortunately, I think one of the major conclusions or one of the major influences here is there is a racist element, certainly, in the history of scholarship. But two, I think there's nothing that I know of necessarily. Like, there's no one text that I can point you to. And again, this is not my area of expertise, so maybe I'm missing something here. But there's not one text that I can point you to that specifically says, by Kemet, we mean the black silt. And specifically,
right? And I think all the experts say the same thing, bro. You're not going to find something that says, by Kemet, we mean the black silt. So let's keep going.
Specifically silt and the land as opposed to people. But what I think is more convincing to me is the contrast that is drawn between Kemet and Deshret.
Hey, then Camilla DiBiase said the exact same thing.
Yeah, they're mirroring each other a lot. I hear that.
Yeah, like all of them do. Karakuni said the same thing. Because that's the album. Got that's why they were like, that contrast is just hard to get around, bro. But anyway, keep going.
So these terms are often contrast together, where you can see then, Deshret, clearly it means red. It's given a foreign land determinative contrasted with Kemet. We know, for example, that, a lot of like funerary figures are depicted with black skin. again, and they're depicted with black skin in some cases, green skin with other cases, Mediterranean olive skin in other cases, brown skin in other cases, kind of like every color under the sun. So that it does maybe there, Kemet here might speak to something specifically identified with the Nile Valley or the area around the Nile, where we know that most Egyptian cities were, as opposed to something foreign. So I think that's where the assumption comes from, that this must be referring to something like alluvial silt. But in my mind, or at least my understanding, this is a leap in logic, that there is not a clear, absolutely conclusive statement that then we can say, oh yes, by Kemet, they simply meant the black alluvial soil, as opposed to anything else.
Thank you for that. I know you've done Luxor, the Edfu project, and specifically when if I could talk about Edfu HaKanum, you dealt with Kanum making man at Edfu or not?
That is more Knum makes man.
Esna, huh?
Esna, yeah, Esna. I was gonna say Esna.
Okay, thank you. So I apologize for that. But I was going to ask about the, some terms, but I still have some other ones. So Plutarch said, and you know, that's secondary too. I'm not acting like that's his primary source, but as close as we could get, he said the ancient Egyptians, first he said Osiris was dark, not because he was from Nubia, but he said he was dark because ancient Egyptians thought that moisture darkened things.
Hey, you remember us having this damn argument on the show? Uncle Ron and I, me and Smack argued about this on the damn show. And now he's actually, and I brought up the fact that Plutarch ain't a goddamn primary. And now he's standing on.
And so he even went on to say that they gave the creative life-producing qualities of seed to moisture and not to anything about the silt. And now that could get tangled up and used because he says water darkens the earth, it darkens hair. He had this notion that water made your hair dark. And then he said, and for this reason, Osiris was dark. And in contrast to that, Sutek or Set was red. And he said, because of this reason, we can find his words that ancient Egyptians did not like to associate with people of a reddish, sallow, S-A-L-L-O-W color. This is Plutarch's talk. So in my mind, I was like, well, what color did Plutarch consider himself? He had the nerve to say that, oh, Egyptians don't like dealing with people of this reddish color. He said Osiris was dark because of moisture. And then he went on to say that everything that was arid, dry, and desolate that's the nature of the red one, Sutek, right? And so this is the contrast that I think we overlook a little bit when seeing no one ever talks about just the attributes of it being arid and dry, as opposed to the areas around the Nile being moist. Here's another thing, and I'll ask what your comments on this. If it was that important, we would have a god of the Nile mud, not a god of the Nile, because they thought the water was most important. They could not know about mytozoa or all these microscopic things they just like, when the water come, it get popping. And so not to go too far off, I just would like to hear why is there no attestation to Kimi, who is Asar in his state as the black one? I have a few of those attestations. We know when he's called the black one, he's called Kimi. There is no name for his green effigy. Waj is never listed next to any vignette when we find him green. And we start to figure out the symbolism has just been like they threw it up in the air and just labeled. They didn't pay fine attention to the color symbolism. I shouldn't say it that way. I just think some things got missed when we addressed that color symbolism. So I know my question or my statement has been long-winded, so I'd like to hear from you.
No, I'll try to give a similarly long-winded answer. So I think the one thing, because you were kind of hesitant of Plutarch as a source, and I would second that. I think when we think of one of the things that we know from about Egyptian traditions concerning Osiris, and we know this from, for example, like the temples of Dendera, or the Temple of Dendera, where you have this kind of these Osirian chapels on the roof, and we know from these chapels that there's a wealth of traditions about Osiris, and that supposedly each major city in Egypt had its own traditions about Osiris and its own way of looking at things. So that acknowledges the possibility that whatever Hem and his association with Osiris might not only vary across time, but might vary geographically as well. And so certain people or certain communities within the Nile might be able to read more significance into the blackness than others, or might have chosen to read more significance into the blackness of Osiris than others. This is an acknowledgement of the diversity that was ancient Egypt. Now, Plutarch, essentially what he's doing is he's representing a colonial voice that's coming in and essentially trying to take these traditions and make them perceptible by glossing over their difference, so they can be learned by the essentially by the colonizers, if we want to use even that term. And also to make it comprehensible for people that are not Egyptian, because again, admittedly, the Egyptian system was incredibly complex, because you're dealing with like now 3,000 years of really rigorous intellectual history that now someone who doesn't understand the system is trying to understand. So that's the first thing. I think when it comes to wet and dry, I think what Plutarch is doing here, he's importing and viewing ancient Egyptian religion to some extent through the lens of Greek medical knowledge, or through the lens of, I don't know if it's actually that's accurate. I don't know if it's Greek or kind of Eastern Mediterranean, or whether the Egyptian doctors would have kind of considered this. I probably think not, because it's so similar to things like Hippocrates, where they kind of take like these balance of wetness and dryness very, very seriously, and that these are all kind of like the geography of how hot or dry or humid or cold. This will determine not only your culture or your personality, but also, again, the nature of your ethnicity. So he's importing a lot of that baggage, or a lot of that, knowledge into his now description of Osiris. Now, the final point that I think I'll make is you're quite correct that we don't have anyone that's called like the god of the alluvial soil. And that Osiris, as you mentioned, is called the Black One, is shown with black skin. One of the things that perhaps complicates the lack of evidence for an alluvial god is that I'm not sure if you're aware of the kind of the corn mummies of Osiris. Yeah, so like that seems to me to kind of, that's definitely some association, maybe not with alluvial soil, but with kind of soil and fertility in general. And the fact that like you have these mummies of Osiris that then there's like seeds planted in them so that then they sprout.
But can we go in on the corn mummies real quick?
Yeah.
At the festival, do you think they were black or green?
I think they were probably different colors in different locations, and possible multiple colors in the same location.
Oh, I should ask the question better. Because they put a seed into the when we have the germinating Osiris, and then we have the corn mummy Osiris. Now, I don't know if the seed was also placed into the corn mummy and things germinate out. If it was vegetation that came out of the Osiris, I'm just hypothesizing that it might have been the color of the vegetation that grew out of it when it was right to drag around at the festival. Now, some of them were complete corn, and some of these germinating Osirises are not the same as the corn mummies. And so, do I have the wrong impression of corn mummy? Was it indeed vegetation that grew out of the mummy?
Yeah, no, I think you have the right impression. For if this does get posted, maybe one clarification that I'll make for listeners is that when we say corn mummy, we don't actually mean like corn like you find in Idaho. We mean like like grain essentially, so like wheat or barley or emmer. It's basically just in the UK so a lot of the original scholarship they call it corn because in the UK they call grain corn. So that's why you see it in the scholarship as corn because it means something different in the UK. But I would say that yeah, I think you kind of have it right. And also the important thing to acknowledge when it comes to these grain or corn mummies is that we have a lot of different kinds of them. So like we have like some very, very nice looking ones in the tomb of Tutankhamun. Or sorry, one in particular that I'm thinking of, which is like quite large. And I think it's like wrapped even. So I don't know what color it actually was. I'm guessing it would have been a black color, but it's wrapped in, I think, linen. So you can't see the color of the actual mummy itself or the skin of this figure. But then if you look at places like Karnak, you have these mummies that are made much more. I don't want to say what's the word for this. That are aesthetic. I'll say aesthetics were less of a concern. So they're just kind of these like bundles of mud with wax heads a lot of times. And so when we're talking about corn mummies, we're not just talking about one thing. We're talking about a wealth of phenomenon or a wealth of practices. And again, even when we're looking at these texts about the Osirian festivals and they talk about, okay, well, in this place, this is how you make the corn mummy. In this place, this is how you make the corn mummy. In this place, this is how you make the corn mummy.
Yeah.
So there would have been a lot of different corn mummies that maybe had different appearances.
Huh? Yeah, no one else can find Joe. Joe up in the goddamn sky. Yeah, and yeah. Like I said, dude, giving them some good, clear understanding, clear understanding of what's going on, and he's giving more evidence for the soil and why that was so important in that day-to-day life and how that is the most logical understanding of when you're in terms of understanding Kemet. So I think dude is laying down very solid arguments, but Smash definitely didn't enjoy it. He didn't seem like he really enjoyed this interview at all.
Hey, hey, Sosa, you went a little far on there, right? But remember when he was, I forget what the hell he was trying to teach him about something.
Yeah, we're gone. I was like, he was damn MIA for a second or something.
I wasn't gone. I just checked into the hotel, yo.
Oh,
so it was something he said, man. The man was like, nah. He killed him with the corn mummies because he thought it was gonna be just one kind of corn mummy.
Oh, right. Yeah, he's like, was they black or was they green? Like,
yeah. He was trying to say black corn mummy. That's gonna be something else they ran around for an hour talked about. Hey, they black corn mummy, crazy, yo. And it was something. What the hell did he say in that video, bro? Early, he said something about I don't know what it was, but y'all heard it. Y'all heard that man teaching, yo. That's why it's important for us, man, to get, the YouTube thing is cool, yo. Right? If you're looking at channels, yo, and the YouTubers, man, are doing a great job of transmitting what the experts are transmitting, then you're actually in the right space. If you're in the space, here's the red flag for you. If you're in the space, right, and the YouTuber is outdoing the experts, that is a red flag.
Right.
All right. And there's reasons for this. I can give it to you simple. So the experts I've been talking to, they talk about interdisciplinary. So they have a team of researchers that do different things. Let me give you an example. There was an article that Smash pulled up about the bitumen. Y'all remember from the Royal Society, right?
Yeah.
Smash automatically, he thought that the guy didn't know anything about. He said, this guy don't know about no burial practice. It's something crazy, right? When that wasn't that guy's expertise. It was the third, it was a lady who was actually an expert on burial. So they had 3 names on the paper. Each one of them specialized in a different aspect of the conversation, right? So that's coming together. So Smash is by himself. That's why you'll see the people that follow him are always emphasizing the glyphs, the glyphs, the glyphs. Right? What we quickly realize by talking to experts, that's just one element of it. And I think I'm trying to say that was it which one of them did a great job of talking about that? No, the language not. No, you need more than that. You need this, and this. Right? So he's missing about 6 other steps, 6 other people with a different eye on it, with a different expertise to reach his conclusions. Yo, now what about all the teams and universities and colleges, yo, that specialize in that? They make millions of dollars, pay millions of dollars to go to excavations, to dig up the dirt, to get the permits, to do all that, yo. I'm saying, yo, he overmatched, yo. So I'm telling you, yo, the YouTube thing is cool, yo. I want y'all to keep tuning in, but be very leery of people that's overthrowing. Yeah, I'm saying that they're going experts with limited resources, yo.
Right.
Trust me, Robert Rand and them, yo, man, that's a wild team, yo. They're not going to be able to stand up on the pressure. Just want to say that, yo.
This is what they do for real. This is what they do in their everyday life. This ain't something they do
for real.
Side. You know what I mean?
Go to work, come back and play Egypt Tiles. That's what they doing.
Yeah. And when they get off work, talk about it all day with their friends.
Yeah, talk about it, running the closet while they at work.
Right. Like we talk about Kendrick Lamar and Drake on our off time. They ain't doing that, bro. They ain't doing their deeds and stuff. And
they trying to get published. They trying to get published, yo.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's paramount. You feel me? And like I think dude, I like the way dude walked him down. He was very smooth with it too, very and patient with him. You know what I'm saying? Look at Smash face. Look at his face. He's frustrated. He's like, come on, man. And let's see what else he talking about. I was trying to get Chef, but there's a Chef said we missed something. He said we missed a little knockout that dude had on Smash. But he pop back in, he'll let me know a little further.
Thank you for that answer. So I see that to be true, everything you said. I just see them attaching this to their green color symbolism and not to the blackness, because when we talk about divine monarchy in the afterlife, this is what I found in my answer. It has something to do with the people. Yes, I tell them all the time, but just like you said, it wasn't all black for the whole 3,000 years. Let's just be clear about that. I mean, that's the way I stated. I think the foundational elements might have looked more like a interior African cultures look today, and that migrated out as nomadic pastoralists, and then they set up this culture. This is why we see all the relevance to the bull symbolism and the black bull, and why the people in many tales the women became black, divine, bovine, and the men did as well. And so that was because they was pastoralists at first. Now, they weren't pastoralists or nomads anymore, so to speak. Cattle was huge. I mean, we know about the king's regalia, him being the bull of the bills, the cattle count. And this is segue into another term for Kemet that we know as the divine herd. And so when we start talking about how ancient Egyptians seen themselves as cattle, if we go to the Book of the Gates, where as Horus speaks to his people, he's speaking to the Aut Ra, the cattle of Ra. And if we go, and I'm supposed to talk to Dr. Rita Lucarelli about this in the Book of the Dead, where we have the term Windute for is WNDJ, but the big J, Windute. Wenju, thank you. For cattle and people, depending on how the person translates it. But it's kind of like means the same thing. It's like, I am your cattle, Osiris. And they also use it for one of your people. And so I found some work on cattle symbolism. There's a brother, Reggie Marby, who does some work on this, but there's not too much out there that shows that there is something there, but they see themselves as herds. They call themselves the cattle of Ra, and then for themselves, they chose the name of the black divine herd, which was Kemet. And Kemet to you. Now, when we talk about where that's not the case, I want to consider that the Kemet for a divine herd, it occurs far before Kemet for the location. That's 12th dynasty. Kemet for the divine herd we can find in the Old Kingdom. And we find a Kemet to you in the 6th dynasty period of Pepi the First. And so I'm thinking, how could Kemet to you be a derivative of Kemet as a city situation if they were not even calling it that? That appears to be another anachronism to me. And it starts to lend to the fact that Kemet to you in the earlier time period might have had something to do with like the cattle people or the divine herd, which are people. I'll rest there and see.
Yeah, no, I mean, you raised so many really interesting points there. I'll do my best to kind of address all of them, but you might have to remind me of a few of them. So I'll try to go kind of with where you started, which is the importance of cattle in ancient Egyptian culture. And this I really think cannot be understated. I think you are spot on here. And this is again even emerges more clearly when the role of cattle in, for example, Egyptian culture is compared and contrasted with the role of livestock or animals in like neighboring Levant or Levantine cultures. Because cattle really seems to be, it doesn't make its way over there. It seems to really be an African thing. And like definitively so. My take on kind of, again, the continuing and expanding relationship between, let's say, Egypt and Nubia, the way that it's often framed by Egyptologists. I kind of think of Egypt and Nubia not really as two separate entities, but as kind of one larger cultural spectrum that then kind of authoritarian systems of power impose divisions upon. And especially with the first dynasty and the city of Aswan, or Elephantine, Abu, you can very clearly see this, where essentially there's no way until the first dynasty of saying what is Egyptian and what is Nubian. And then all of a sudden you have the first dynasty comes in, founds the capital of Memphis, and then plots this huge fortress in the island of Elephantine, to the extent that it almost disrupts access to one of the kind of temples on the island. So it very much seems like an imposition of centralized authority on a local community, which is creating division where there was not division before. The interesting thing is we can kind of see this even later in Egyptian history, where like in the New Kingdom, like the period of the Egyptian Empire, where you have the Egyptians, sending military forces to Nubia, and then sending Egypt military forces north as well into Asia. But the character of these forces and the kind of the ways that they're treating the military presence there are extremely different. There does seem to me to be, in the case of Nubia and in the southern case, there seems to be a real interest in a lasting conquest and occupation and incorporation, as opposed to in the north, where it's more of like okay, we've subdued you. You tell us that you know that we're in charge. Give us some money, and then we'll go home. And I think this is because the Egyptians did see a lot of connections between their own. They saw a lot of these cattle-based connections between their culture and then the culture of the peoples living to the south of them. And a lot of times, unfortunately, the way that that's manifested is through extra violence, because it's like, you are almost like us, but you're not exactly like us. But then you can be made to be like us. I think we saw an example of this this is a depressing example to bring up, but you saw when Russia invaded Ukraine, some of the worst atrocities that they committed were in areas that were predominantly Russian ethnicity, because I think they expected to show up and say, okay, you are just like us, you are Russian, and then these people resisted. And then that resistance was confusing and needed to be, again, according to like the view of the kind of the purity of the Russian people as proposed by Putin, needed to be fought against. And so you get kind of more violence sometimes and more of a lasting occupation, not where people see the most difference, but where people see the most connection. Because it's like, you're almost like me and you should be like me, but you're not exactly like me, but I can make you like me.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like that breakdown right there of Nubia Egyptian connection. You know what I mean? So I like that how the rulers came in and make it more of a set distinction between both cultures. You know what I'm saying? When a monarchy hits, you start to get that first dynasty. So especially in the upper Egypt region, where it's kind of both scholars talk about how that area is kind of blurry because you're in Upper Egypt is also in Lower Nubia. So I like that part of the conversation. I thought that was pretty dope. And I can't see who else is on the panel without sharing my screen. Juju, Joe, where y'all at, y'all?
Just taking it all in.
I just want to know if y'all want to get something in before I keep going, man. Yeah, but the link is in the chat, man. Everybody want to jump on, man. Everybody said they're liking the show. Like I said, it's a dope, good interview. He covered a lot of ground. You know what I'm saying? And, dude is definitely solid. Like he right there. You know what I'm saying? Like Smash cannot shake this dude. So I want to get to the I was about to come up with a deal with the glyphs. Back. Okay, I think I'm finally got that. Let's see. Boom. Man, I'm trying to do that. All right, boom.
So that's kind of my take. Okay, now you're gonna have to remind me. Okay, now I'm remembering the second thing that you brought up, which is on kind of cattle metaphors. I think this is a really interesting topic. I don't know a lot about it, to be honest. I would say that, of course, the diversity of traditions is always overwhelming when it comes to Egypt. So, like, for example, I was studying one of the things that I study is pharaonic depictions of violence or kind of coercion over their own population. So I have examples of the elite of Egyptian culture being portrayed as birds being put into a net. So I wouldn't say that they're only cattle. They could be other animals as well. But this kind of question sounds like a really interesting one, and I think is worth, if it's something that you're interested in, I'd encourage you to conduct future research on it.
Definitely, I'm gonna keep on, and I appreciate that that encouragement, especially to be encouraged by you. You're held in high esteem in your field, as well as you don't even know. We be watching y'all work. I'm telling you, just in layman's terms, I'm feeling endeared to your the way that you giving me knowledge, right? And I'm just telling you, we watching. And so you do have something in that. I'm sorry, people. You don't really need the determinative.
His interest of doing is to show.
Already covered the book.
Translator here, they call him Happy.
What'd you say?
Look at
we already dealt with the book. I want to get to this.
Yeah, we're dealing with our black month.
Kind of multi.
Huh?
Yo.
Ken, what's good?
What's up, man? I didn't even know I was in the classroom, yo. I can't even see myself.
Oh, hold on.
Y'all got me sitting in the corner.
Yeah. When you first come, you gotta
time out.
You gotta make sure you can behave.
That's normally what they do with the rowdy kids.
Coming back from ISS, yo.
Put you down here with Joe. No,
It's me at ISS, man.
Put you down here with Joe.
Oh no! Don't put him down here with me. Get me in trouble.
This nigga on his paper, man.
My parents give me whippings. I ain't getting in trouble with it.
Let me see what he got on his paper, man. Let me see what the answer is, Joe.
You like your teacher do out there. One of y'all get in trouble, both of y'all in trouble, goddamn.
Put him in the front of the classroom.
One of y'all in trouble, both of y'all in trouble, goddamn.
Hey, kid, all my answers say Bitterman. So you ain't gonna want to copy off my paper.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man, we steady going through this battle rap smash down got into. The man come back with all these rebuttals. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Kill him, man. Go ahead and kill him dead, yo.
Pattern, yeah.
Continue.
No, I mean it's just a really interesting example because and again what I would say is going on here, because this is in the Temple of Ramses III, and so basically what he's trying to do, what it's in his interest of doing, is to show control, because he's the one that's holding the leashes of all of these cattle, that he's kind of, in control of all the different ethnicities or breeds of cattle, just as he is in control of all the different peoples that might live in the world.
Wonderful answer. That's dang. I was saying that to people. They don't understand me, so I need to get some credentials. Now, here we're looking at the rock tombs of Mier.
Hey, yo, freeze that.
Yeah, we're dealing with
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
He said he was saying that to people already.
He said, "Don't believe me."
The hell wrong with Smash, man?
Man, yo, he was saying, Smash, man, hold on, yo. When you listen to it early in the show, when you played him, when he was commentating over it, he mixed up what the man was saying. And in the actual interview, yo, he misunderstood what the man was saying, yo. That's just funny. Yeah. I was telling people that, who was he telling that, yo? Tell him what exactly was you telling us, man? And then the cattle with the people who was like, you're crazy with that.
Then he said, I guess I need to get me some credentials. You damn right to get us some credentials.
Yeah, you damn right. Do something. Get out of our here with that nonsense.
I ain't finna let you work on my car, nigga. You ain't got no goddamn credentials.
Listen to you. That's why nobody listen to Robert Rain. You ain't listening to Robert Rain.
My God.
Right.
What about
especially
Pan-African James.
Especially over those 3 hours and 40 minutes. Nigga,
come on, man.
Yeah, Robert Rain, them days over, yo.
Yeah.
It's obsolete, yo. When we having conversations, yo, you gotta bring in an expert to collaborate with you saying, yo. They don't know it's obsolete, do they, yo?
Nope.
Obsolete. Yeah, y'all obsolete, yo. If you ain't bringing an expert to help you through what you saying, yo, then we ain't listening, yo, because y'all scamming.
But that's the problem. They bring they bring the expert through, which we commend that. But when the expert beat them up, they don't even comprehend that. That's crazy.
They comprehend it, they don't accept it. They don't want to tell the truth about the black people. But once you got that type of thinking in your head, I mean,
they don't want to get fired. They don't want to get fired, like Reggie said. They don't want to get trouble by their superiors.
They have careers. Yeah, they have to toe the line. There's a certain narrative they have to put forth to the people.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy.
But according to Reggie, they tell him in private though. They tell him the real.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, he go in the rooms. He'll pull you in the room or something like that. We can't get in there because Reggie gonna stop the whole motion.
Yeah. Let me get back to it real quick. This point, dude, try to you go ahead, Smash, try to get through all the shit.
Trying to learn.
Yeah, he started doing that. Don't you got to go somewhere? Like, well, let's get this part real quick though.
Try to get him up out of there.
Black month, and in the rock terms of Mier, we have. This is what I use when people say Egyptians didn't call themselves black. I'm like, yo, we still have to know what they meant by that. But their term, Kim, I can show you over and over they called themselves black. Now, I'm not arguing. What Herman Ranker argues is that it was a physical attribute. Yeah, okay, he just gave it up. And we'll look at some of that. But here, Blackman, in his work, he says this, if we see Happy Jasher, they're brothers, and we can read it all. But if we look at Happy Jasher, this is one of the brothers. And then this is in his tomb, Happy Kim. Now, they say even in Arabic in Arabic cultures today, they would use these colors, black and red, to distinguish between two siblings who did not necessarily have to appear black and red, but the one who was called the darker color would be the darker of the two siblings. And so and now the translator here, they call him Happy the Black. But to me, I think this is just like Happy, the one who was darker than his brother, Happy the Red. But there's a whole family of Happy Kims, Peppy Kim, And now I've had I talked to grammarians about this, and some tried to argue it was a title. Herman Ranker did not place it in a title, and I don't know of any title associated with him. And we see it in the adjectival position, and it always occurs that way as it's modifying the noun, and it simply means, but how do you see these attestations?
So I will admit here, I'm not an expert, and this is the first time I'm encountering these terms. So I don't really want to offer too many comments because actually you sound much more knowledgeable about this than I do. But the one thing that I would say, again, I don't know about I don't know how these terms are used in, contemporary Arabic Egypt or Islamic Egypt, or like I don't know if there are kind of modern parallels to this. But one of the things I think we could definitely say is even if you go to Egypt today, like there are black people in Egypt. like that's like just an undeniable fact. So I wouldn't say
He was in the modern sense.
Run that back, man. What the hell?
Yeah,
Found out this dude pseudo too, man.
No, he was in the modern sense. Dude. He's talking from our perspective. But look, he breaks down what he gonna explain.
I don't necessarily have a problem reading this not in a kind of literal way, but also I am just looking at it for the first time now. So I really have no idea.
I like that answer. But I know you got some skills. So when you at Luxor and you step to the wall, have you trained on what you're about to see, or have you ever had anything thrown in front of you where you just had to determine what it meant on the spot?
So I think it's a mix of both, because obviously the training and experience inform everything that you're looking at. But then a lot of times what I would do is I'd say, okay, I think I know what this is, but I'm not an expert in this. And then I'd go back to the house at the end of the day, and then you'd have to do research on that.
Definitely.
And then you'd bring the research back into the field the next day, and you could say, okay, now that I learned that, now that I saw some comparative scenes, I can better understand what's going on here.
So that process in the...
You know what I'm saying? Clear and cut. I ain't familiar with that. You know what I'm saying? So I have to go back to the house, check that out, compare and contrast, and I come back with the homework. I can't just jump out the window, but he's still gonna be like, I'm off a little insight though.
Field, I'm sure it's all technology now. It's not sitting there tracing. How much do you actually... I seen a photo of you sitting there tracing like an old school Egyptologist. I was wondering, was that for a photo op, or was that like, is it really time that you have to sit there and not use technology?
There really are times, and the reason for that, I've left the project now to take the job here, but I had a very good experience working there when I was in Luxor. But I don't know essentially how they're contemporarily operating. But my understanding is that because there's a backlog, there's a huge backlog of these drawings that have been made, and many that were made in the 90s or early 2000s were made before technology was really an option. So they're still to try to get through that backlog, we're still doing kind of traditional epigraphic methods. But then more recently, yes, like things that are just now being recorded, they're being recorded with technology.
Wonderful. I mean, yeah, I got plenty of questions, but I won't bog your time down with I'll stay up, keep it to the knowledge, but hopefully one day we can talk again and I can learn more about your trips and some of the things that I would like to know. So here's a pyramid of Pepe, the second pyramid, text 1042, and it's a short one, and I always don't like using this one because they could be referring to a black sack. I actually have the primary, a facsimile of the primary, and this is just a reconstruction from Thesaurus Lingua Egypti. Now, face falls on face with this, we see the core and then the her with the three, and so I don't understand face falls on face, but apparently this is Shu grabbing Pepe to take him back to to be amongst the Neteru. And so this black skin where we see Anim or whatever, Anim, and then we got the determinative for hair, and then the Kim modifying the skin. Am I reading that wrong?
So pyramid texts are always weird. This also, I'd say in the transliteration, we might have one too many or two too many hairs, because it does seem to say like faces fell or may fall on the black color.
Yeah, because where's because of the? You're right. I never
Yeah, there's
seen
no
because of the.
there's no because of. I think basically, so hair can mean because, but in order to make that happen, there has to be too many hairs. And we only have two hairs. The first one is clearly faces. So faces fall on, the yinim certainly can mean color, especially with the hair determinative. So faces fall on color, the black color. Seshu. Shoe. Yeah, I'm not sure what seshu means. I'd have to look that up.
I can pull it up, but I think that was what they was using for picked up. Now,
Yeah.
and this translation is by Thesaurus Language. I mean the TLA. So
Yeah.
just for the record, I didn't make this translation. I was kind of agree with you about the too many hers or whatever, but it's so much of this. I just want to get your comments, and I don't want to take all of your day, so I'm just going to go through them. We understand that on the Stela of Abku, we do find a chemi where they're talking about, even though I don't have that here, they're talking about Osiris as the Black One. But I was coming here to get the rankers work of persons and names of the Middle Egyptian. So this is me copying directly from the website, just so everyone knows. This is my opinion on the screen. And Herman Ranker took the name Ta-Chemi when he found it in the 3 attestations, and one of them was.
Oh, so that'd be his opinion on the screen. I thought, when we looking at, because I was wondering like how we get that translation because of and do so. I don't see because of that. So I thought I don't know. I thought Smash was showing like what it was. So he's saying like, maybe it's just for this one that I'm seeing his opinion on the screen. So I'm not gonna say for all of his show. But I thought that when he showed these little slides like this is what the experts said. I didn't know that this was like his own personal interpretation of what was being represented.
The same person, that's what that kind of means. The dark one, and when he said the type of name, it was demonstrative pronoun plus an attribute, and the attribute being a physical quality. So here we see they made a nisba out of the term, the root kim, put a reed leaf on it, you know what I'm saying? And they make Kimi, the Black One, or one associated to darkness. And the Ta, they really used, he called it a demonstrative pronoun. I guess definite article or demonstrative pronoun, but this is saying the dark one. Would you read and would you read this the same way?
So I will also say I'm not an expert in personal names, and I'm also not a spelling in. So I think these sources, they seem to be, especially the first one, is coming from an administrative text. So I think there's a few different ways to read this. You could either say it's Ta-Chemi is short for Ta-Chemit. Again, so the black feminine one. And then we know it's clearly feminine there because we have the ta instead of a pa. So then Chemi would probably originally have had a feminine ending. But again, this is not Chemeti, but Chemit. So the black female one as opposed to the one that belongs to that which is black. The other possibility of reading this is ta meaning she of. But again, I think that's too late. That would probably be 10N Chemi for this. But it's also possible that this would mean she of the Black One. So maybe she of Osiris, depending on the date of this attestation, though.
Wonderful. Trust me, these answers are just, I can't wait. So now we got just another attestation. And over here, this is how many times we found people calling themselves Kim on different stelae all over the place. And again, he used this name as a physical quality. I don't think there's not any reason to, I mean, Egypt wasn't called Kim And so that right there is going to be a problem for people who want to make this refer back to, oh, this means one of Egypt. And so we can keep going. Now, these are females who use the term Kemet as the dark one, physical qualities. And so I'm really only showing you this because when I show my audience, they act like I'm making things up or scamming or, can't really get these attestations qualified or perused by a person with credentials.
The one thing I'd say, so the only thing that I'd say is that just keep in mind that chem also, I just saw it go past in a slide, but that chem can also mean to be complete. So a lot of times it's hard to say whether the meaning, especially in a personal name, is based on, from the word black or based from the word to be complete.
Yeah, and so we've been getting to the bottom of that one too. One of my grammarians challenged me to find a Kim with the hieroglyph to settle that score, and we found it in the name of a person called Kimu. And we also found it in Osiris Kimi. We have an attestation with the hieroglyph, which lets us know that they want us to refer back to the color in that instance. And so I appreciate that. And so I don't want to keep you all day, so I'm just gonna get to some of this final things.
The other thing that may be, and again, if they're both being the only reason that we can tell their difference is because of the determinative, maybe they're seeing a connection between the color and completeness.
I actually think there's.
See how he tried to slide it back though? It was like, no, hold on, hold on. Because he wanted to hammer home that completeness argument.
Now, Akim is a shield, I think, but there's like, so I'm just gonna get to some of this final things.
The other thing that may be, and again, if they're both being the only reason that we can tell their difference is because of the determinative, maybe they're seeing a connection between the color and completeness.
I actually think there's a term for when you're growing of old age. This is like Sukkim or Ekim. Now, Akim is a shield, I think. But there's like Sukkim where they put the causative S on the front, and it means to grow to old age. Now, I understand exactly what you're saying by using modern idioms that help me understand ancient Egyptian texts. I'm a rapper, right? And so I'm an MC professionally. I'm a poet, and when it comes to philology, I deal with wordplay, and I can understand it, and I notice it in places others have not. Some should go back and look at the Cannibal Hymn like a battle rap and equate the two type of in hip hop, and not to go off on a tangent, in hip hop, one of the main ways to defeat your adversary was to devour them. We call it eating MCs, you see? And so I was like, well, this is the same schemata from the Cannibal Hymn that people understand. He wants to be amongst the Netcheru as a boss, so he's going to eat them. He's going to devour them. And I'm like,
somebody freeze that, yo. Somebody freeze that.
So I guess people miss that.
Yo, who amongst you believe, yo, being a rapper, yo, gonna make you decipher the text, right?
Man, eating them seeds, bro.
Yo, they hit you with the Negro logic, yo.
Yeah, but he also getting with the fact that also could mean that Kim can mean completeness. That don't have to be black. You know what I'm saying? Like Smash kind of just glossed over that point. He doubled down on it again.
Smash got knocked it off. Come on. Knock it off. We're not going for that. We don't actually think you're a rapper, yo. You can get it. I don't believe you, yo. So you think Edith Dowser should take rap training, yo?
Yeah.
I think it.
Take double entendre.
Kaya said he had some heart. He had some heart to try it. He went blackity black on him.
That's crazy. They sitting there saying that's deep right there, yo. That's deep. That's weed talk, yo. You know you smoking weed when you say that.
Because all he hit him with though was black reality, black things, black personal thing, be black. Was a corn black. Those
Hey, yo, no matter how many times you say black, you're saying it from an African American cultural 2024 perspective, yo. No matter how many times you say it, yo. Yeah, we saying it a little bit different than they was in the 60s. Feel me? Yep.
Yeah.
That's math, though.
Go imagine that. Add 2,000 years on to that, yo. What you think they were saying? Me. Understand, yo. Tripping. Different cultures, yo.
If you get an A,
Yeah.
or you
Play,
make
play this last little piece. We almost at the end of it.
All right, bro.
And I think that they're looking at things from other ways can open up perspectives. And so I'm pulled up Crumb's Coptic dictionary, right? And we're looking at the root in Crumb's Coptic dictionary. And even he says that Kami can be a Black person or a thing. And so I don't think we disagree with that. And you said enough that I can show people, look, I'm not just making this up, that the scholarship says this is not politically motivated, but I have taken up an axe because I know some things that I never had to speak about before. And with all of this gross stuff that they're doing after the Cleopatra movie, I'm like, well, let's stop being, give me my ball. They like Egypt is my ball and I'll take it and run with it if you play with it in ways I don't want you playing this game. And so if any sensible man knows an area like that over thousands of years with all the trade, you got everybody there at the end. But we also got to talk about how any market works. Someone has to set up the market. Trade don't just pop out the blue. Someone has to have these items that people beseech after. And these were the people of Quebec, even though they didn't call it that at that time period. I argue that these would be the people who set up this, that brought all the other people into now we got the multicultural Egypt. That's totally fine. When people exclude Black people, like, oh no, they was Nubians, that is nonsense. As a matter of fact, because I'm now getting scared of how much time you got left. So let me ask you. Because I'm trying to run through because I'm scared you might be going too long. So how many minutes you think? How much more time we got?
We want maybe take another 10 minutes.
That's great. Thank you. So I appreciate that. With that being said, I'm going to just go through a few of these primaries I got. And hopefully we can see what's going on here. Hold on. Sorry about that. Get to this.
You know, while you're looking for this, I should say that one of the things that we've been looking into, or that like has been motivating a lot of my research lately, and it goes back to this question of origins. And because, you know, like there's always, again, like you said, that there people are always like looking for like the first moment where like this thing happened and then using it to exclude or push out other groups that they don't want, that are motivated, and these exclusioners have contemporary motivations, not ancient motivations. And we see the past being misused in this way kind of all the time. So one of the things that kind of we're thinking about in terms of research these days is to look at anything that we consider to be a recognizable culture was actually created through exchange and interconnection, rather than kind of, you know, one single group, especially not one single ethnicity, kind of starting something, but that things only start when you have people of different groups in the same place.
You're right. And I see that even, we see a lot of, I don't want to, the material culture, it's hard.
Hey, but that's a good point to the one being Nubia being a mother of Egypt. Catch the full context with what he was saying.
I have to tell it apart when
hey, yo, break that back again. What'd he say? I missed.
Take it back.
Is to look at church lately, and it goes back to this question of origins. And because, you know, like there's always, again, like you said, that there people are always like looking for like the first moment where like this thing happened and then using it to exclude or push out other groups that they don't want, that are motivated, and these exclusioners have contemporary motivations, not ancient motivations. And we see the past being misused in this way kind of all the time. So one of the things that kind of we're thinking about in terms of research these days is to look at anything that we consider to be a recognizable culture was actually created through exchange and interconnection, rather than kind of, one single group, especially not one single ethnicity, kind of starting something, but that things only start when you have people of different groups in the same place.
You're right. And I see that even we see a lot of I don't want to material culture. It's hard to tell it apart when we get down to those areas, but they wanted to be told apart for some strange reason. Like they didn't come up like rocking all of their, or should I say, they didn't preserve all of their traditional Nubian culture, because it would have just been what Nubia was. Something they drew a line in the sand at some point and was like, we're not down with that old tradition anymore. We do it like this, and we're willing to fight over it now. That's how it the unification took place to me. But who knows? So you said something earlier, or we were talking about something that made me want to pull up this text, and I want to get your opinion on this as we close down. What this appears to say to me is the Sun people, Nubians, belonging to Egypt, because we got the new here. But I'll let you see. And then we got this. This is a Hemin, which is going to Heminet, or HMNNT, a word that means some people. But you can tell me.
Shenmemet.
Yep.
Am I supposed to be seeing it? Because
Oh, you're not seeing anything. I'm sorry.
I see the the thumbnails, but I don't see anything up close.
Oh, you see it now?
Yeah, now I got it.
Oh, great.
Okay, recitation. This is late. Philae, yeah. Yeah, this is from Philae. Okay. The Pedgetiu, the Untiu. So yeah, the interesting thing here, so what I see is like, I'll see a lot of different, it would be a mistake to call them ethnicities, but it's like the recitation by, or like a recitation, the Bo people, the Iyuntiu, so some type of maybe tribesman, maybe, I don't know how to read this throw stick here, maybe the Asiatics, and then we have a lot of these foreign people, and then we have the Shenmemet, and this is the okay. So then the Shenmemet and the Nubians of Egypt. This is what you're
exactly. So I'm glad that you pointed out that these was other people. Now we do know these Awintiu to be also Southern bowmen, right?
Yeah, I think, certainly bowmen are usually equated with Nubians in Egyptian culture. The interesting thing that I'd say about this is that, especially as we see in the Roman period in Egypt, you increasingly see a kind of a division between, of course, there's conflict between Rome and kind of the Nubian state to the south of them. But we also kind of increasingly see this kind of like pan-Eastern Mediterranean, North African culture developing, where you again kind of have Philae as this really interesting point where local communities manage to overcome these authoritarian boundaries that are being imposed on them. So you have essentially like Philae as this pilgrimage site, not only for people in Egypt, but also for Nubian communities, and Nubian communities especially that are not sedentary.
Interesting.
So it's a really, really important site that kind of again brings together a religious community, which I think again says that whatever religion existed amongst these people was more common than the boundary that is made by, pharaohs further north. There's more in common, that these people have more in common than this kind of artificial boundary may lead us to believe.
Yeah. So that's right about at the end of the interview. Really good interview. A lot of people didn't know that the whole interview was out there. So at least we got that part out there. You know what I mean? But sure, we were out there for 3 hours.
Yeah, lot to unpack.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I'm gonna let somebody else go live now. Maybe Chef go live. I can chill out. Hope everybody enjoyed the show, man. Everybody following through. Marvel Slade in the building. Isonic, right? If you didn't get a chance to check the whole video out, man, go back and check the whole video out, man. It's a real good interview. You know what I'm saying? So, any closing words, Juju?
Yeah, if you're interested in going to Egypt, just check out the Elite Travel Co. for all information. I'll make sure I keep dropping links in the chat. I dropped it earlier. And yeah, it was awesome. That's all I can go say. It was awesome. Phenomenal.
Trying to get Negroes to go to Egypt, but she come back, hey. It's just like,
huh?
You try to get niggas to go to Egypt since you came back. Like, you hungry? Yeah, if you try to go to Egypt, it's like,
no, I feel like it's a service that I'll do to a Black-owned business, which is the travel company that I went with. And I felt like that the itinerary and everything they had to offer was a lot. It was phenomenal. You feel me? It was definitely.
I'm glad the terms of the agreement ended up being one of a pleasant experience, Juju. Can I say?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Africa, anyway. I don't know. I think conscious community made it weird. Like, nigga, just get out and travel. I don't care where you go. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's all.
Based on, the early beginnings of it. You know what I'm saying? That ended up being what you wanted, right? And more, even though it may have started off a little rocky, right?
Yeah, it was a lot more. The trip wasn't rocky. Nothing was rocky about the trip.
Saying the beginning, it's the beginnings of it. Beginnings. That's good. I'm glad everything worked out and everybody's in a good space. And you know what I'm saying? You got what you feel like you got your money's worth. So that's what's most important. And you had fun and you made it back healthy. So that's all a plus.
I came back to get
Juju,
the
how much you
dog,
selling them
but
rocks
that's a
for,
whole
Juju?
nother story. But I got rocks on sale. Rocks at Sacred Temple Sand.
Smoke with that
For
contraband
$20.
back on.
You don't just want to holler, I got rocks for sale. But you know what I'm saying?
So this was a good show, man.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate that.
And hopefully people will listen to what these folks are saying and catch the little nuances in the conversation. And recognize that, we're smashing them doing. I mean, he's sharp. He's a sharp guy reading it, but you got to be able to understand it as well. And you got to, and the only way to do that is to be able to put it in its proper cultural context. And me personally, I really think that's the area that's being missed. Like, what do these people actually mean when they say these things? So, but I appreciate the show, man. Real good.
Sure.
Have a good night.
We're gonna do it again, man. Thank everybody for coming through, man. Man, Sosa World, yeah, man. Shit, I might do something live tomorrow. Shit, so y'all check back with us tomorrow, man. Super Killers on deck. Peace and good night to everybody.